Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome back, everyone, to the Growthstreet podcast. Guys, we're on episode 12 now, and I could not be more excited to be sitting across from Harshil Thaker. Dude, how are you doing, man?
Bro, listen, I'm here like a deer. I'm so excited to be here, man. I mean, we were chatting it up earlier. I think this is something that needed to happen.
Yeah.
Not only just for me as a business, but in terms of like everybody kind of in the scene. We were talking yesterday, or what was it, 2 days ago on the phone where, there needs to be like a kind of a voice for people in this scene. So I'm happy to be here. I'm so excited to kind of spit some game.
Yeah, man. I'm so excited, dude. You're only 21 years old,
Yes.
and you're the co-founder of a hospitality company, Apeiron Group. You're one of the, I think, New Jersey's most known photographer and videographers, especially in the event space and, the high quality, just photography space in general. You also went to Rutgers, and you're an alumni now. You just graduated, so congrats on your graduation.
Thank you.
I know you're also a big coffee enthusiast, so I know you've been doing those coffee reviews too, brother.
Bro,
You're everywhere, man. I don't know how you're doing it, but this is why we had you on, I think. We have a lot of guests on that are, consultants, student athletes, people that are all really doing different walks of life. But I think it's also super important to have on the voice of like an entrepreneur like yourself. And again, bro, you're so young and you're doing so much. So I think you're an inspiration to a lot of people who are watching this, and I could not be more excited, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate those kind words. It's again, like that was one of the main reasons I kind of wanted to hop on this podcast, just because, especially when you pitched it to me the other day, it's cool to see how you also show the voice of that 9 to 5.
Yep.
And so for some people that's what they want, right? Like they want a stable income, they want to work and have a reliable job, have a wife and kids.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
cool. Like there's nothing against that. Me, I'm just a little all over the place.
Dude, I feel you. I feel like, again, it's so easy now on social media to think, you're supposed to make $200,000 a year as a 22-year-old or be a millionaire by 25. Like, working a job is boring. I think everyone wants different things.
Yeah.
And the whole idea about Growthstreet is like, I just want to help people get to where they want to be. And I think by, again, having different voices and highlighting, okay, if you want to be a consultant, this is how you do it. If you want to be an entrepreneur, this is how you can do it. If you want to be, if you want to be the best basket weaver or knitter in the world, I'm going to help you. Yeah, we're going to give you that inspiration on how you get there, man. So I think for you and yourself, you have experience as a student and experience, being an entrepreneur. So that's what I'm really excited to dive into, man.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, man. So just for a little agenda, for everyone watching, we're gonna be going to like, one, who are you, all your experiences and your journey and your story, but also the value of how did you actually do everything. 'Cause I think people really want to know, how can you go from, being an 18-year-old who's just graduated high school to actually cooking up and becoming your own personal brand and running a company where you get to meet celebrities, work with high quality clientele and do all that stuff. Also, break down, the why. Because I think it's so important to know you said you're a little crazy. What made you that crazy? What activated that within you?
I think that's the most important question.
Yeah,
why, right?
Exactly.
Like what pushes people to do the things that they do?
Yep.
It's cool, right? You see all these celebrities, you see all this thing, but why do I do it?
You have to have that why. Everyone, and I think when you know that, it almost awakens an individual person's why as well. If let's say someone watching hears your why, they're like, wait, we're actually the same person. If that's his reason for how he's successful, shit, I can do the same thing.
Exactly.
And then we're going to go into your dreams, dreaming, goals. How did you actually take your dream and how are you living it right now? How are you actually trying to get to where your dream is? And then we also got a ton of questions from your fans, from your followers, and people that I've been asking me questions too. I think that's going to be an awesome way for you to actually directly answer questions that people are curious about. So that's the agenda, man. I'm excited to chop it up, bro.
Listen, we could go here for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours if we,
I know.
I know we all got a time limit, so I'm not going to rush nobody.
That's how it always is, bro. By the time it's over, we're going to be like, shit, I wish we could just keep going. We can go all night. We can literally keep going.
That's a meet conversation, so I'm excited, man. Let's get into it.
Yeah, man. First thing, bro. For one, you started 3 years ago taking pictures and videos of football games, basketball games, individual kind of like modeling shoots. And now I'm seeing what you're doing now. Again, you literally are running your own hospitality company. You're taking photographers at high quality clientele at concerts, media events, boxing fights. And you've taken yourself from, a hobbyist of photography, and now you made it your entire almost career and like your life. So I want to know, one, like walk me through how you did that and what's the journey? Just break it down. Like who is Harshil and how did you get there?
Yeah. So just to clarify, I think it was like, I want to say I first started taking photos when I was like in 7th, 8th grade.
Wow.
Just on my phone, like, just some silly, we're allowed to cuss, right?
Yeah, you do whatever you are, bro.
Lots of silly shit. Just like taking pictures. Dude, I used to post something, it used to just be a picture of me on like a roof, and I used to think it was the coolest thing
shit.
in the world.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I look sick. You know what I mean? I look so cool.
Yeah.
And then you post it, and then the next day at school, people are like, yo, that's so corny, bro. What are you doing? Like, why are you posting stuff like that? Like, you're not going to make it.
Yeah.
Fun fact, I still have So this guy on Snapchat, he used to be my biggest hater.
Your biggest op.
Bro, the amount of things I'm not gonna call him out, but
Yeah.
for the sake of his career, I'm not gonna say anything. But I used to be called names, bro, all these types of racial slurs, all this kind of crazy stuff, man. I still have that saved on my phone. So anytime like I'm
Monday motivation, bro.
literally Monday morning. Anytime I need like something to put me in sixth gear, I'm looking at that thing. I'm like, yo, like this was one of the first OG haters.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
This is my first op, bro.
This is the biggest op that I used to have.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, I used to start. I started out in 7th, 8th grade, you know, just as a hobbyist, and then I got into high school. I moved to Jersey, got into high school, and you know, I was just like, yo, like I really want to take this to the next level. But I didn't have a camera, so this is
Expensive, bro. For a high school kid, it's expensive, man.
You know, $600 at the time for a beginning camera. That's, I mean, even now you still get that, right? So it's like. I actually worked at Dunkin' Donuts for a year.
Okay.
And this was the year before COVID hit, right? So everything was kind of chilling. I used to work, you know, and I used to bust my ass every weekend after school, whatever. Saved up enough money to buy my first camera, and then COVID hit. Or sorry, before even that. Like, just in the meantime, I would go to high school football games, take pictures of football games, go to Parsippany, and, you know, I'll shout out to all the Parsippany homies. You kind of made my portfolio. But
shout out Parsippany,
yeah,
guys.
shout out Parsippany. But, yeah, man. So, you know, I used to go to the football games, basketball games, shoot for all those people. And a lot of those players, just to fast forward a little bit, a lot of those players, like, I'm still in contact with today.
Yeah, wow.
You know, and a lot of those people also are entrepreneurs like myself. So, you know, they're in their kind of own avenue, but they're also doing entrepreneur type stuff. You know what I mean? So then COVID hit. That's when I really started kind of going.
Yo, that time now, bro. It's like, this is time to get after it.
Yeah, bro. I was like, dude, I'm in school on a fucking laptop. You know what I mean? I have so much time now. You know, terrible time, but for me, I guess it was a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, you have more time to do what you want to do, right?
Exactly.
You gotta look at it as a really bad thing. It's like, I'm stuck at home.
Exactly.
Or you can look at it as an opportunity.
Exactly.
And that's what you did.
And, you know, I had like a little series where I do like a little portrait session with myself.
Yeah.
And use my projector actually as lighting.
That's sick.
And
That's
I used to do like crazy like shadows and all this crazy stuff. That was one of my first pictures to reach over like 600-700 likes.
Wow. And you were like, wait, I'm on to something.
Yeah, and that's when I was like, yo, because they got shared by a really big photographer at the time. It actually was Logan Paul's old video guy.
No way. That's crazy. That's wow. That's awesome.
So that got shared, and you know, after COVID hit, was, you know, my freshman sophomore year of college. And I'm not gonna lie, like Rutgers is one of the biggest reasons as to why I'm in the position I'm in today. So genuinely, you know, college brought me to another level, and now, you know, it's my full-time job. Basically, I'm taking a year off of working corporate to see where I can really take this. And dude, like I couldn't be more excited. There's so many big projects coming up, so everybody will get a sneak peek here.
We have a lot of stuff coming for you guys, and that's why I'm curious, because for you, so you graduated from Rutgers for engineering, correct?
Yes, civil engineering.
So now you want to take a year off of that to fully focus on what you're doing now. What made you come up with that decision? And I'm sure for, you know, for your parents and for the culture we live in now, that must have been a tricky thing to do.
Yeah, man. That telling my parents like, yo, I'm gonna take a year off to focus on a camera. My parents used to hate when I used to go out for photo shoots. Like absolutely hate it. Yo, like what are you doing? You should be focusing on stool. You know, the stereotypical shit.
Of course.
Right. So then when I started making the money and they started seeing it,
like, oh wait, Harshil, maybe stop studying. Go outside, take a camera. Yeah.
But then obviously it's like that whole cycle again, right? When it comes to the like without a doubt, engineering money is great money.
Yeah, of course, naturally.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So they are. I'm on that same boat right now where I'm kind of getting in that loop. But the biggest thing is like I had 2 summer internships. I had one last year, and one the year before.
Yeah.
Both of them, I was like, you know, this is great experience. 100%, right? Like, totally understand the benefits of this and see, you know, I'm learning.
Yeah, that's the most important thing.
Exactly, and I learned, right? It just, that lifestyle just wasn't for me, right? Waking up at 8 to go to an office and sit there in front of a desk all day until 5:30. I literally used to come in 8 to 5:30, and then I come home and I'm just drained. Like, I can't, you know, like I want to film, I want to go out, I want to do shoots. Yeah. But it's like it's an engineering job. So your brain, brain is just fried, right? Yeah. Like you don't have mental capacity to do anything else. There's a lot of people that say you could do both, and I 100% agree with that. Yeah. It's just for me, I was so passionate about this other side of my life. Yeah. And also, like at the time, right, as an intern, you're getting paid $25, $30 an hour. Cool, right? As an engineering intern. Yeah. That's good money by all means. But then, you know, on the weekends, I'm doing a shoot for a couple hours and making 4 times the money for half the time.
I just spent a whole one day making what I made in a week.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So that was my trade-off. I'm like, all right, what do I do here? And both internships, I ended up taking like a solid 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off because I got, a big project assigned to me. The first year I had to go to LA. Second year I had to go to India and LA.
Wow, okay.
And Punta Cana in like a 2 week, 3 week span. You know what I mean? So it was a lot of that situation. And, I'm going, balls deep in this, in this endeavor I got, and everything, knock on wood, but everything for now is going all right,
And that's why, again, like I hear you say that, and I think a lot of while we're in college, it's a lot of just figuring shit out. Like that's the real, bro. I mean, for me, it's like I thought the same thing as you. It's almost every time you're working on something, and it's not as valuable. Like when you were in school and when you were doing the internships, I'm pretty sure all you could think about was like, bro, if I was spending 8 hours a day working on photography, like how insane would that be?
Exactly.
So I think for me it was the same way, bro. When I was working at LinkedIn, and I came up with this idea in 2022 in October, and I started working for LinkedIn in July in Chicago. So I was working in Chicago, lived there, and every day when I'd be doing work, I'm like, yo, if I just spent all this time like grinding and sweating and stressing out about my own thing, I can't even imagine how valuable I am. Because, dude, also like there's tech layoffs, people get fired, and then once you're done, it's like, wait, like there's nothing to me anymore. I was a cog in the system in a way.
Well, right now is the biggest kind of like evidence of that. Like so many people are having a hard time in tech getting
jobs, tech layoffs, all that stuff.
Exactly, bro. So. Another reason that, I decided to go head first into this stuff is because, I'm still young, right? We talked about it. I'm 21. I still got time in a way to figure it out.
You have so much time. Are you kidding me, bro? I started this now at 23. Some people start their own company at 30. You're 21 years old and you're grinding like you are now, man. You have so much time.
That was kind of my biggest aspect. I'm like, while I'm young, I don't got no kids.
No wife, no kids.
You know what I mean? I don't got a mortgage to pay.
Yeah.
I can still live in my parents' house if I wanted to.
That's what I'm doing too, man. That's what we're doing right now.
Man. So that was also a big indicator of like, if this is if there's any time to do something, is now. You know what I mean? So.
And why? I think what I'm curious, I think everyone watching at home is like, okay, now again, you had this idea of photography, you had fun doing, made a couple, made some money on the weekends, but again, you're taking that massive risk of I'm not going to work as an engineer because I want to fully aspire to be an entrepreneur.
Yep.
So now you made that jump and you explained kind of why, like what that was like for you, but why are you doing it? What's the reason? Like who influenced you? What activated you to say, I'm going to do this now. Like, this is going to become my life. I'm going to live and breathe this shit now. So what was that for you?
That's a great question. I think that's a question that a lot of people would love to get answered.
Yeah, I'm curious myself, man.
Yeah, so it's a situation where I've been so into from the beginning, I always knew I was like meant to be a business dude.
Yeah.
I did engineering. I love engineering too, don't get me wrong. But business was always kind of my forte, right? Like, doing things on the side, making back in the day, I used to make flyers, dude, for like just random people, like just flyers, right? For Eventbrite, whatever. So the biggest reason as to why is because there was so much passion, and I grew up watching YouTube. I grew up watching these, influencers. Like we I grew up in the Logan Paul era.
Paul, KSI, the side man,
literally.
all that.
I mean, to this day, I still watch the side man.
Yeah,
like
you know what I mean? Everything.
Literally, like. So I see those people. I'm like, all right, listen, I got a talent here, right? And I got a skill, and I got an ability to show people, like what I can do.
Yeah.
I want to show people, like, listen, like, you can do it without worrying about, working a job where you're not, the most happy.
Yeah, you don't love it.
You don't love it. You don't love it. It's more about the money for them. You know what I mean? Which is cool. Again,
everyone's different. Yeah.
Exactly, which is totally fine. But for me, I was just like, I can't. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I wanted to do it, just because I wanted to show everyone, like, listen, like, I'm just a brown dude from fucking upstate New York. You know what I mean? Like, I was the only brown dude in my town.
Wow. I wish for me, dude, I was one of 26 Patels in my graduating class, so a little bit different, bro.
Yeah, man. Even when I moved to Jersey, it was me and some other girl, and that other girl is a good friend of mine still.
Yeah.
So we were the only two brown kids, man. So here we are.
Now you're not, I mean, dude, now again, like, to like talk about what you've built for those who don't know. I mean, you have your own personal Instagram page, which has over, like, I think cumulatively probably around hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views.
Yeah.
You have almost 4,000 followers on that page. Your new hospitality company that you co-founded almost has 4,000 followers, with also hundreds and hundreds of views. So I think what I think is really interesting to me is you're a dreamer, clearly. I think a lot of us, some people, when they're raised, when they're growing up, they want to kind of do the normal life, and they're comfortable with that. But I'm the same way as you, bro. Like, sometimes I'm just sitting in my bed, and I'm like, you get that 3 a.m. motivation. I'm like, yo, I'm meant to do something.
Let me do a
really
couple push-ups
big.
real quick.
Yeah, literally, bro. A couple push-ups. You'll be flexing in the mirror.
Yeah.
I had a new idea. Let me look to my computer downstairs, and it's like, you are naturally, like, some people are just naturally inspired and they think they're capable of so much. And I think you're one of those people that, again, you're balancing so much shit, you have so much going on, and you're clearly dreaming and doing what you're passionate about and what you love. So again, when you think about when that light flicked on for you, I mean, what is that like? Because we talked about it earlier. You're gonna have these haters. People are gonna think that they have opinions of you. I mean, when I was doing my stuff, to this day, I still get those kind of things. But when I relate to you, because when I was in 7th grade, I used to take those same pictures, those modeling pictures where you're like on your driveway.
Yeah.
Let me post up for the picture, and then you go to school the next day. Everyone's like, "Yo, Darsh, why are you posting that picture, bro?"
Yeah, you
like,
look like an idiot. What are you doing?
Yeah, but we, for some reason, are wired to think that we can be special in whatever way that is. So I'm curious, like, when it comes to you and your relationship with this word dreaming, what's your relationship with that word? And, like, how does it apply into your life now?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's dreaming. I think the more accurate word that I use all the time, and low-key I wanna get it tatted in some way, shape, or form. Is manifesting it, right? And that word manifest is a very, like, you gotta be careful with that word, right? Because people manifest all the time, right? Yo, I want to be a millionaire. Yo, I want to create the next big company. But it's about what you do to get there is the biggest thing, right? Like, dreaming's cool and all, but are you acting on your dream, right? Like, for me, for example, right? Like, I after I graduated in college, I was like, look, I got an opportunity, like we mentioned. I could dream all day. I could say I'm gonna go viral on Instagram.
Yeah, while you're working, you could be thinking about all this stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I could go. I'm gonna go viral on Instagram. I can say that all I want. What am I gonna do?
Yeah, how are you gonna get there?
Exactly, and that's why I started making those daily videos and posting these tips for up and coming people and people getting in the industry. So it's a lot. Like, there's a fine line between dreaming and acting on your dream.
Like doing it.
Yes. And that's the most important part. You gotta act on your dream, because if you don't act on your dream, you're not gonna get the dream. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because you can think about things all you want. And again, like, I think the one thing I always hear when people reach out to me, they always say, "Yo, Darsh, this is so cool how you're doing all this stuff."
Exactly.
Like, I wish I could leave my job to do it. And one person I know, he actually just left his job because he literally said, because of what you're doing, I'm leaving my job to do the same thing.
100%.
And I think, again, like, people always have ideas and want to go do it, but I think doing it's the hardest part.
Exactly.
So I'm curious again for you, like, what was the first time where you were like, I have something here, I'm gonna do it? Was it the photography? Was it the Apeiron Group? Like, I want to know, for someone who is watching this and they're young, what did you actually do? What were the tangible steps that you kind of took in place to actually, again, decide, this is what I'm going to do now. This is going to be my new schedule, day to day. What was that like experience for you?
Yeah, so I think right now you're describing it as a light flick, right?
Yeah.
I think the more accurate way to describe it is like, one of those like slider lights that you got
it
was like one of them ones, right? Like, in the beginning I was like, all right, here we go.
0 to 100.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I got a Calc 3 final, I got to do this at the same time.
Yeah.
So I in the beginning it used to be very much like, school. If, on the weekends, if I got time, I'll do it. It was never a flick of a light, but more of like, as I got later into my schooling career and as I started getting higher budget clients, I was like, okay, like there's this kind of setup I have here, and if I just kind of push a little farther into it and just kind of like really go dig deep and push hard. I remember I was taking, for all you engineers, I was taking my fluid mechanics final.
That sounds like hell. I don't even know what that means, bro.
I was taking my fluid mechanics. I don't even remember the name of the class, but fluid dynamics, whatever. I remember the day before, I was like, yo, like, this was my first time shooting for A Boogie. The day after my final.
Okay.
All I could think about was A Boogie.
Shoot. Yeah.
I was like, yo, this is sick. Like, I'm about to go on, all the way here to shoot A Boogie with the hoodie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? One of my favorite artists. In the meantime, I got a fluid mechanics final the next day. So it was more of a situation like that, right? Like, you got to realize, like, I think schooling is very important. School made me, I think, you talk about this, light flicker, and this drive. I think school, specifically engineering school, brought that on me. Because engineering school is such a grind, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure, all my classmates, I see you. they imagine the same thing, right? Like, we used to be in the dumps together.
Yeah.
Like,
y'all in the mud doing that, grinding that out, bro.
Bro, we were like, yo, what was the force on this thing? Like, how'd you get it? What was, all this other shit? But engineering school made me the person I am today, because you want to talk about hustle, that's what brought in the hustle for me.
Yeah.
Dealing with engineering school and these 50 million other things I got.
Especially when you don't want to do it.
Exactly. And I don't even think not wanting to do it was the thing, because again, I loved engineering. I just didn't like the aspect of sitting at a desk and then coming home and doing all that. Engineering in a way is very similar to content creation. You have to solve a problem. You have to go out there and help other people. You're creating something new out of absolutely nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're doing market research. All these things are very similar. Granted, engineering is a lot more technical, but
Just a little bit.
yeah, just a tad bit. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of very similar aspects between the two kind of scenes, and I think I've implemented a lot of my social media game in my methodologies into engineering school and just school in general, and vice versa as well. That means the study habits. Instead of studying, research.
Yeah.
The grinding, filming for fucking 8 hours a day, coming home at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of a lot of similarities between the two.
And when it comes to what you're talking about, like the similarities, talking about how the social media game, a lot of it is from the things that you learn from engineering.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, like the social media game can really change careers and change trajectories.
100%.
Well, like again, not overnight, but sometimes it can.
Well, sometimes it is
momentum,
overnight.
Yeah, seriously, sometimes it is. So I'm curious for you. I think a big part of your brand, from what I've seen, is your social media.
Yeah.
I think right now you're creating an awesome ton of good content. So I want to give you a shout out on that. I think a lot of it is like valuable, but it's funny.
Yeah.
And it's very like cinematic, which I like.
Yeah.
And I think again, people watching who want to be, photographers or videographers, or have a podcast or whatever you really want to do. Social media is like kind of the key that way you can get there.
100%.
So how did social media, and like how did you kind of become Harshil? Because I think now you were talking about on the phone and you were saying, like, my name somehow became to mean something in the area.
100%.
Where now you say, Harshil, people are going to know that it's this guy, it's this photographer, videographer. We know who that is off a first name basis. Yeah. How do you create that personal brand for yourself? And like, what role did social media play in it? Did it play a role at all? I'm kind of curious.
Yeah. So it's crazy because like, I'm not sure. I mean, $2 Tuesdays, you know about those, right? Like I used to go out for $2 Tuesdays, and I just get stopped in the street. Yo, you're Harshil Thaker. Like, can I take a picture with you?
Yeah.
And at all my events, like, yo, Harshil, you make the videos, right? Mm-hmm. It's genuinely like, to this day, I still don't know how to respond to that.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, like, and then they'd be like, yo, your videos are sick. I'm like, my go-to response, thank you, bro, appreciate it, thank you. But social media has played, I think, the biggest role in my life in terms of. Again, like the Rutgers kind of made me the person who I am today. And the cheat code, here's the cheat code. I'm gonna spill some real game. If you're new in the industry, if you're a youngin, do frat videos. Trust me, do videos for frats, do videos for sororities, Greek life. Those connections will get you so many places. In the beginning, I used to do videos for my first ever video was for I&D.
Okay.
And my roommate at the time, He was crossing I&D. He's like, yo, can you film my video?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, bro, I got you.
Of course, yeah.
Like, at that time, it was fucking like $300 for a 9-hour shoot. You know what I mean? I brought Kush was there.
Okay, yeah.
That was the first one that we did together.
Okay, cool. Shout out Kush.
Yeah, shout out Kush, man. And he was there. He helped me out. A couple other people helped me out. And it was just like a team. And like after that video went viral, to this day, that video is 5 years old now.
Okay, yeah.
To this day, at their Rush events, they still play that video.
Wow, that's crazy.
So
that's insane.
So, and I know that just from hearing, right?
Yeah.
It was crazy, and those frat videos really, really helped me kind of put my name out there.
Yeah.
So that's I think if you're in college and if you're really trying to get your name out there, that's such a simple way to kind of get your name out there, but. It was more just like, doing everything and anything possible to make sure my name is associated with the camera.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I would, again, the Greek life videos, that would be cool. And then the concerts started happening. And then my own personal content started happening. Mm-hmm. And then I started doing nightlife events.
Yeah.
And then DJing for weddings.
You're doing everything, bro.
So it became to a point where, one person knows you. And not even one person, one frat knows you. Cool. And they all repost the same video.
And especially if they say you're doing a good job, if they really like it, they're going to even push it out more. Say, I actually know this guy.
Exactly.
Use him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, and that's what's happening right now, right? Now every single frat sorority is now hitting me up. And to be honest, I don't do those videos anymore. But but like, back in the day when I first started, that used to be the sickest thing. Mm-hmm. Getting hit up, yo, can you film our sorority video?
Yeah.
They used to pay jack shit, but that's besides the point, right?
It's experience and you're putting your name out
exactly.
there. Exactly.
When I'm first starting out, bro, the money did not matter to me. I was like, yo, like I'm just trying to get my name out there, and that's how it is, man. And that's the biggest. I'll never hate on a newcomer charging less and getting the gig.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's how they can get their foot in the door.
Exactly. And because that used to be me, right? Like I used to charge less so I can do the gig. So that's why I can never hate on people who are just starting out and undercutting me. I'm like, yo, like I get it, bro.
Yeah.
Like, do what you need to do.
Yeah.
I was in your same boat.
And I think about too, it's like I think the key thing from what you're saying is like people and connections matter the most.
100%.
And also it's like I think there's a thing called like, over delivering.
Yes.
I think a really big part of success and having a lasting impact is the feeling that you leave with people after you work with them.
Exactly.
So for example, right, so you're working for a frat, your first ever job you have is in media. If I can absolutely nail this video and over deliver what they want, then it's gonna make them want me to come back. Right? Let's say you do a mid job, you do it for the bag. Then it's like, oh, it's pretty good, like it's nice, but like now they're not incentivized to want you to come back, and it could be so good that now they're telling all their friends, yo, like look, because for me, when people make videos for like our content with Growthstreet, the ones that I love is like, yo, I'm like walking to all my boys, yo, look at this video someone made, like look at this. That's the impact that you want to have in that media space too.
100%.
When it comes to anything else, I think people overall matter to any level of growth, especially now because social media, as we were talking about on the phone, it's all about storytelling and quality.
Dude.
And if you can tell a story, and if you can really leverage into like the human nature side of what you're doing, that's the key. So think about content creation, right? If you want to be a good content creator, if you can really tap into a person's reaction, saying either, wow, this video is good, or it touches my emotion, or it makes me inspired, or I want to keep resharing it, that's a good way in. And I think when I watch your videos now, I'm like, yo, you have the sauce. Like, you know what you're doing now because you've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
So one thing I'm curious about is, again, that sauce you have, that free game is, let's say someone's watching this right now, they're 18, they don't have a gig yet, but they want to be a big photographer or videographer. What's your advice, I guess, to starting out? Like, what should their 3-month to 6-month game plan be on how kind of getting that ball rolling for themselves?
Yeah, 100%. I just actually posted a video on that yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that.
But I'll kind of reiterate what I said in that video. Number one thing is to go out there and shoot. You know what I mean? Like get behind. Like my man here is doing the perfect thing. You know what I mean? Interning, bro. Like you get behind the camera, shoot, do whatever you need. Like don't worry about the pay. Don't worry about oh, this company's not that big and all X, Y, Z. Bro, who gives a fuck? Just shoot. Especially if you're just starting out, shoot. The second thing, post your work. A lot of people have this weird thing. I know in the beginning, a lot of people are like, yo, like, I don't want to make my Instagram diluted, or I don't want to do this.
Oversaturated.
Who gives a flying fuck?
Yeah. There are more shots, bro.
If you want your thing to take off, you gotta put up shots. You know what I mean? Like, what was it? Kobe Bryant is one of my biggest inspirations, of all time.
Yeah.
And I forget the saying, but there's this one saying where he used to, he just used to throw up shot at the end of every game. He just used to go and shoot like hundreds of shots every single day. And that's how he got so good. That's the whole saying, right? Mamba mentality.
Yeah.
So it's like, get yourself behind the camera, practice, shoot, learn, go out there and reach out to people. Bro. Reach out to people. You know what I mean? Some people, this is my favorite saying, and, I really hold it true to my heart. It's always a no before you ask. Reach out to people. Yeah. You know what I mean? Don't be shy. Worst case, what are they gonna do? Say no?
No, exactly. Yeah, exactly. What's the best case? The best case is not even unimaginable.
Exactly.
What the best case can be.
The best case is you fucking shoot for A Boogie with the hoodie. That was literally my story. You know what I mean? I just asked, yo, can I shoot this? They said, yeah.
And then next thing you know, now you're shooting for it.
And now I shoot so many of his shows. Yeah. So it's like, that kind of, again, those three things are really important for people starting out. And again, get yourself behind the camera, post your work, and reach out. Don't hesitate to reach out. Even me, you know what I mean? I get so many DMs. Like, I couldn't even tell you how many things go into my little request box. That like, I just, sometimes I need somebody to answer them for me. Yeah. And that's why I've started.
What do they say? What's a typical DM say?
Bro, for the number one question is, which camera do I get? I answered that today in my video.
Yeah, I saw that. You're like finally answering the age-old question.
Yeah, that's like the number one question. Number two question is, do you have any leads or anything I could help out on? Great question to ask, by the way. Yeah. Like, one of the most important questions you could ask is, do you have anything that I could help on?
Yes, I agree.
And if you provide value to somebody, they are so much more likely to put you under their belt. Yep. It's insane, right? Like,
all people want at the end of the day is help. And again, it's the whole human nature. If I'm going to ask, like, if you ask for something, then the other person's going to associate you with being transactional. But if you're going to say, hey, like, I'll work for you for free, or for example, I did one of the people on my content team, in their interview for me, because we did an entire internship program right now. Yeah. Shout out Aditya behind the camera right now, helping us out here today.
He's doing the right thing. My man's doing the right thing, bro.
Yeah. He's behind the camera right now. But one of the interns who was currently, I hired them, they actually when they did the interview, they actually brought their own piece of content they actually made. So they're like, I'm going to come here. This is an example. They're over delivering and showing you, I'm here to provide value and I'm not asking for anything. I just want an opportunity.
Yeah.
And I think that's a key way, again, where no one's going to say no to help. And again, leveraging human nature. So I did a workshop today too, where for my interns, we call it upskill workshop. So today the whole workshop was me showing them the power of LinkedIn to get to where your dream job is or your dream goal is.
100%.
So we're talking about the best case and worst case scenario. I told them the whole workshop was about reaching out to people. And one thing that I did when I was in college was I reached out every day. I sent out 10 messages on LinkedIn to people that were working in my dream job. Did it for 2 months, 3 months over COVID. Same thing as you.
Yeah.
And what did it turn into? I had a contact with every NBA, NFL team. I was talking to presidents of different teams, showing me their championship rings, and all because I just reached out.
Yeah.
And one of my interns, she wants to work at Vogue. It's her dream company to work for. So I told her, if you reach out to someone at Vogue every single day, 10 people a day, the odds you to have 1 or 2 conversations, what's the best case scenario?
Exactly.
You can have a job there full time. What's the worst case scenario?
They say no.
Or they don't answer. You are where you are now. Nothing happens.
Yeah.
So that's the way I think about optimize for your best case scenario. Where do you want to be? How can you reverse engineer your goals
100%.
to get to where you want to be?
I think that's the best way you put it. Like, genuinely, if you want to get to a goal, for example, me, right? Like, just like
what is your goal?
Oh, dude, that's the question, right? Like, I have a goal in mind, but it's not like a numerical goal, right? It's just like, I want to make this my full-time thing, like where I genuinely can, like, I'm 35 years old and I'm sitting and I got people
helping delegating
everything.
They're bringing your vision to life.
Yeah, exactly. And my main focus right now, because the photo video stuff is kind of like taken care of. Is the hospitality company.
Talk more about that. I'm curious.
Yeah, man. So, I'm a co-founder of the Apeiron Group. We are one of the biggest hospitality groups out in Philly right now. And we do a lot of nightlife stuff. We're really, really diving into concerts. We got a networking event that's happening in July 13th. So that's something you might want to come to. There's a lot of creatives coming out, especially for DJs. So like OGs in the game are coming through. I'm talking people that are boys with like Jay-Z and like all these cool, you know what I mean? So there's some real cool people coming through, and stuff like that. But we just signed a big deal for this upcoming school semester coming up.
Nice.
So there's a lot of things that the potential for that company is insane. Yeah. And it's just, there's one of my partners, he's still in school, right? He's becoming a senior. My other partner, he's in law school.
Okay.
So we're all really kind of,
yeah. It's like you're trying to do what you can, man.
Exactly. Yeah. We're all trying to, push really hard, and luckily everything's been a success. We made good money. Yeah. But yeah, man, that's what it is, man. And we're really trying to elevate that to the next level, and it's getting there slowly but surely. It's getting there.
So how do you even think of doing that? Because again, you're doing photography and videography, and I'm sure you have this idea while you're still in school. Yeah. And then now you're thinking one day, hey, let me just add another company to it too. Where does that come from? Where does that idea, that drive, how do you even fall upon doing something like that?
Yeah, well, it's actually crazy. The story for that is kind of funny because
let's hear it, man.
they all tie in together. Okay. The photo, video stuff, and this stuff. Basically, again, I used to shoot a lot for nightlife, right? I used to go to these parties, film for them, and my current partner, the one that's in law school, his name is Jaisal. Okay. He used to do these parties back when he was in school in Philly, and he was like, "Yo, can you come film for me?" Yeah. I was like, "Yeah, man, it's my first time, I'll do it." So I go out there, I make the video. Me and him used to not dislike each other, but we just had a little bit of a disagreement. Yeah. But it was nothing crazy back in the day, and I was like, yo, I could do this shit too. You know what I mean? I got a good following behind me. If I just promote properly, and I brought without sounding too kind of arrogant, I think me and Jason are one of the OGs in this kind of college party nightlife scene. Yeah. Especially in Philly. Kind of one of the OGs to bring a new wave of people in. But again, so I used to film for him. We filmed for him. I did my own event. Okay. I was like
let me try it out.
Yeah, just under my name, right?
Yeah,
I was like, yo, whatever. It ended up being a success. 650 people showed out.
Wow, that's lit.
Yeah, so I was like, yo, this is fire. I could keep doing this. And then Halloween came about. Okay. We had 1,300 people at that.
That's this year. This is all this year?
Last year.
Okay, so 2022 or 3? Halloween 2022.
Not this past Halloween, but the one before it.
Oh, yeah, so Halloween 2022.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I'm
gotcha.
so bad with
Nah,
fucking-
no. Times, dude.
Yeah.
2024, that's a trip right
Yeah,
now. I don't know
right?
How it is June 2024.
So then I did the Halloween event. That went insanely well. And again, I'm just kind of my own thing at this point. I'm just doing all the promo and everything. I'm partnering with people, but just my own entity.
And you work in media too, right? So
Exactly.
You're probably the best marketer. Like, you're the harshest critic. We talk
Yeah.
about this too. Like,
Yeah.
you're your own harshest critic. So you're gonna make
100%.
sure the quality of your marketing is all what
Exactly.
you want it to look like.
Exactly. So then April came about, 2023, did my third event, ended up being a success.
Yeah.
And then summer comes around. And I'm just like, yo, like, I'm not really trying to do this no more, like, it's a lot of work, just getting up, making promo videos. And at the time, that's when my name was really, really going around.
Yeah.
Like, the photo video stuff got my name around, but really it was the promotion behind all these events that, really pushed me to the next level.
Wow, this guy really knows how to push this shit out.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah. And, that's when I was like, yo, like, I'm trying to, like, I might just, like, put this on the low. Like, I'm exhausted, I'm burnt out. And I remember I was at Taco Bell.
Okay.
And and this is when me and Jason started doing kind of events together here and there.
This is where you guys kind of started.
Yeah.
talking a little bit.
Like that April event and the Halloween was our first events together.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
And I was just like, I FaceTime. I'm like, yo, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I'm just tired. Like, I can't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He goes, nah, bro. Like, you could do it. Like, trust. You could do it. And he knew the potential that I personally had and what we can, like, the money behind it as well. It was good money, right?
Dude, one of the most powerful things is if someone you working with or is around you sees potential in you more than you see it in yourself.
100%.
Because if someone believes in you more than you believe in yourself, then that's going to let you know, for one, that like something really big can happen without you even really knowing it. And if you can surround yourself with people that look at you that way, that's the most powerful thing.
100%. I think that's one of the most important things. And I'll bring it up later too. We'll touch on that, is the people you have around you.
Mentorship
So
environment.
important.
We'll get there.
Yeah. But so then he's like, yo, do it. And I'm just fucking eating my bean burrito. Like, I'm just like, yo, like, I can't.
Yeah.
And I was like, screw it. Like, we did it. We announced another event, September.
Okay.
This is like our most the fan favorite event. It's called Saints and Sinners.
What's it called?
Saints and Sinners.
Saints and Sinners, okay.
It's like a very popular event. Everybody loves it. And that's when that got launched. And then Jason was like, or actually, no, that's a little down the line. Jason was like, and this is August time. He's like, yo, like, me and you work really well together.
Yeah.
Like, we're separate. Why don't we just make it into one thing? Like, he was graduating, college a year early.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was a junior at the time, and I was very good at this marketing thing.
Yeah.
He goes, yo, let's just join teams. I got another one of my boys who's also our third partner now. His name is Krish.
Gotcha.
He does a lot of graphic stuff, and he's really good with all this kind of other financial stuff. So let's run it. Yeah, and dude, I was like,
the dream team's assembled, man.
Literally. I remember being added in that group chat. I'm like, yo, we're really doing this.
We're really doing this shit. Yo, dead ass. And I think the big thing too is like getting people to be on the same team that are good at different things.
Yes.
Like that is where I think it's really big, because the way you even described Chris was like, he's good at the graphic stuff. That just lets me know that he has his special sauce that he 100%. Brings. And the same way that you are good at your promotion stuff and your marketing. And then I'm sure Jason has his sauce that he has the experience.
Bro, he's a master businessman. I'll tell you that for free. You know what I mean? Like he's a law student. So any contract we have, I'll be like, yo, make sure you read this shit before we sign anything.
He don't do it right.
Yeah, sometimes he gets a little busy, but like I'll be like, yo, please, before I sign anything, just read it, take a look. Yeah. And yeah, man, my specialty is really just putting my face in front of the camera. In a way, I'm the face of the brand, right? Like those other two are kind of behind the scenes. The
brains behind it.
Yeah. And I'm the face of the brand, and I put myself out there. If we do bad on an event, it's on me. But definitely big shout out to them too, man. Without them and without Jason's motivation in particular and that specific Taco Bell call.
You can do it, bro. Again, he saw the potential in you.
100%, man. 100%.
That's a huge thing, and that's what we're going to go into now. We kind of alluded to it, was the people around you, your environment, the influences, the mentors you have. What do people mean to you, and what is your environment of people? What is your relationship with that concept?
Yeah, man, I think that's one of the most important things. If you're really an entrepreneur and if you really want to get to the next level, you got to have the right people around you. You know what I mean? Luckily, I've been fortunate to have mentors around me, and when I've been in relationships with people that genuinely care about what I do. Yeah. And that's like a key aspect of everything, right? Like, if you mentioned it earlier, if you don't believe in yourself but somebody else does, they'll push you to go to that next level. A big mentor of mine is this guy named Saad.
Saad, shout out Saad.
Shout out Saad. He'll fucking slide up and see this whenever he sees this. But, Saad's a good mentor of mine. And he's been in this video photo game for I don't even know how long, right?
Yeah.
And when I first met him, it was it was for an Indian rapper called Divine, big artist, right?
Yeah.
And I remember seeing him, like, you're just like a short, like, you're like a short 27-year-old. Like, what are you, like, what? But then, like, I started talking to him, and we started connecting, and now we're doing, like, he also runs an event company in a way, and now we are planning to do events together.
Let's go.
So he's been such a big inspiration because he's been one of the guys been like, yo, you know what you're doing. Like, just keep going with it. Eventually time will take its course, and you'll make it to where you want to be. Another mentor of mine is this guy named DJ Sharad.
Okay.
He's one of the OGs in the game. Like, I'm talking, like, he's like, he could be my dad type thing.
Wow.
He's a little older.
Yeah.
But I remember him, like, literally a couple of weeks ago, he called me, and just out of the blue, he's like, yo, let's hop on a call. He's like, yo, like, you're doing what I used to do when I was your age.
Yeah.
You're doing the right thing.
That's probably the best thing to hear too, man.
Bro, it was so, like that was
knowing
such a
you're on
big
the right
relief.
path from someone who literally walked the right path,
100%.
that's probably the most insane feeling you can have.
Exactly. Now he owns like 4 multi-million-dollar businesses, and 4 or 3, I don't know fucking know. He owns a lot of money.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
He works with big brands, Nike, Adidas, Foot Locker, and he owns a DJ company, one of the biggest in the country.
Yeah.
And to hear that coming from his mouth about me, I was like, wow, okay, like, this is nice. And even like people who are growing together, right? I mentioned my roommate, the I&D roommate.
Yeah.
He without him, I wouldn't have filmed that video. You know what I mean? And then my name would have been nowhere.
You wouldn't have got started.
Exactly. Yep. So definitely shout out, Sahil. He knows DJ Hills. We don't talk as much, but he knows deep down. We're still in connect. Another person that's really been beneficial to my life is Kush, the DJ Aura that I mentioned off camera. Me and him have been basically growing together.
Yeah.
Like, I'm about to link with him after this and film some content.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So
the grind doesn't stop, guys. For
literally, and his path was very similar, right? People used to make fun of him. People used to tease him, joke around, be like, "Yo, you suck at DJing."
Yeah.
And now, he DJ'd for Tesher. He DJ'd for Azu. All these famous artists. He DJs for. Now me and him went on a tour this past March, February, March.
Okay.
All these different universities and filmed.
That's insane.
And that, like, seeing his growth as well as my growth together, we've been on this kind of journey, which has been so sick to see. And I really push anyone who's getting started in the industry to kind of follow that same kind of route.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see, man. We've been on this growth path, and that's honestly, like, he's not, in a way, he's not a mentor. He's more of like, yo, like, we're in this together.
Like a partner.
Yeah, like a partner.
Yeah. So, one thing I think people want to know when they're watching, this is what I want to know, is how do you build that environment around you? Like, for example, I think some people, maybe they're by themselves. Maybe they don't have a lot of friends, or they don't really know how to, get around people. They don't know how to network.
Yeah.
I think that's an underrated skill that not all people have.
Soft skills.
But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So I think, what can people do to, like, what did you do, honestly? What did you do to build, kind of build your Avengers? What I call, for me at Growthstreet, like, what I call everyone is, like, I call us the Avengers.
Yeah,
Obviously, the first couple people, there's like Iron Man, Captain America,
the OGs.
Thor, the OGs. But then now it's like, for example, Aditya behind the camera and all the other interns that we have. It's, we got Black Panther, we got we got all these, Captain Marvel, all these people kind of coming on board. But everyone's good at different things, and you find them when the time is.
100%.
But for you, how do you build that? How do you find mentors? How do you find partners? How do you find the people around you to go on this mission that you're on, bro? Because you're on a mission, man.
Yeah, 100%.
And, if you want to go fast, walk by yourself. But if you want to go far, people also, you have to go together as a team. So how do you build your team, and who is your team?
Dude, my team, man. First of all, I think that the point you made there is a great point, right? Like, there's this kind of thing when you first start out, you feel like there's nobody with you, like nobody's supporting you. Again, I used to get made fun of.
Probably can still feel like that too, right now.
Yeah, exactly, man. But I think that just comes with time, right? Like, there's no certain way to be like, yo, this is where you're gonna find your partner. This is where you're gonna find your, a DJ friend. It all just came with time, and especially, like, again, college, bro. Yeah. Like, everybody wants to be a college DJ. Oh, I DJ at college. I DJed for this person.
This
DJ
bar
here.
here.
This bar here. And it's more the people who stand out, right? Like, you hear DJ Aura, you hear DJ Hills, you hear all these different names, Harshil Thaker, you hear these names, you know what I mean? And eventually you just end up in the same circles, right? It's like, yo, like, I love your videos. Can you film for me? Or yo, like, you're sick at DJing. Can you DJ at my event? And yeah, man, like, there's no surefire way. A thing I really do recommend for people, and again, like I mentioned it to you earlier, is networking events are like so beneficial. Like, I wish when I was first starting, I knew about these events.
Okay. How do you find these events, and what do these events look like? How can young people watch and get involved in those events?
Yeah, so for example, our networking event at Apeiron it's in New York, July 13th is Saturday. Most people are free if you're not working.
Yeah.
You just RSVP and show up, and you have to be willing to talk to people.
Yeah.
I know some people, like me, for example, sometimes I get a little reserved. My social batteries right now, right? I'm just tired. I just want to go home. But with that mentality, you're not gonna grow. You're not gonna grow. You gotta be able to put your right foot forward and be like, listen, like, yo, my name is Harshil Thaker. I'm a video guy. What do you do? Oh, cool. You're an event producer. Let's connect.
Yeah, let me shoot. I'd love to shoot a video.
I love to shoot a video for you.
Yeah.
Oh, like, I'm an artist, bro. Let's film a music video.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's a lot of instances where those networking events can go like so much better than you think in your head. And then also just hanging around, like, say for example, I'm hanging with a DJ. You're gonna meet other DJs.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think when people talk about environment, I think people just think about, okay, the people around me.
Yeah.
But more than the people around me, it's like the actual place I am and how is that life there, right? So for example, the reason why so many tech startups move to San Francisco is because what are they around? They're around all these venture capital firms, all these other young entrepreneurs trying to be what that is. Why do all, media creators, DJs, things like that, people like yourself go to these cities like New York, go to Philly, because they're surrounded by that.
Exactly.
And they always say you're surrounded by the 5 people you like the most, but more than that, you're kind of surrounded by the entire ecosystem around you.
100%.
If you're around people like in New York, the reason people love New York is it's nonstop. People are grinding. That's how you grow, right?
Yep.
You're talking to yourself about this networking event, how you got to, sometimes you're tired, the social battery's not going there. But the second you actually do something that you don't want to do or fight past that urge of, I'm not going to wake up today. I want to sleep in. When you do that hard thing, that's when the actual growth happens.
Yep.
And by being in those environments, you get the most benefits out of that too, right?
100%.
So I think, again, when people are watching at home, these are the events that you have to go to grow. It's not, again, you staying at home and DMing people, again, that's still going to help you, get some experiences and some opportunities. You can go to one event once a year, get 10 potential clients and networks there, and boom, the whole game can change.
And the thing is, right, with these networking events, the beauty of these networking events, right, say, for example, you're A Boogie's tour manager.
Yeah.
You could your DMs are not going to be open. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to go right into the request.
Yep.
If you go to this networking event, and A Boogie's manager's there, you could personally talk to him.
Get his phone number, get his email.
Yes, exactly. And be like, yo, like, let's connect. Like, I will film whatever the hell you want me to film, I will film it.
Yeah.
But point being is you have that direct connect right there. You don't got to worry about an Instagram filter saying, yo, this might be spam or X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? So that's the beauty of these networking events. And that's something that I really, really wish I took advantage of when I was first starting out. Because, again, I didn't know any better, right? Like, I was just shooting these frat videos.
You think about it now, bro. You're 21 and you're actually hosting a networking event. So you spin it that way. I mean, you should give yourself some credit there, bro. Pat yourself on the back.
Listen, it's not just me, man. It's the entire team. So, again, we were talking about a team. Like, one of my mentees is, her name is Sana.
Okay.
And she, like, in the beginning, I remember, like, I used to be like, yo, come out with me. I'm going to this music video. I'm going to this shoot. Come and get experience.
Yeah.
Now she works for my company. She's our social media manager at Apeiron.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So, and any opportunity that I have that I'm unable to do or I just don't have time or whatever, automatically I give it to her. Yo, Sana, you got time? You go to this event, shoot it.
Yeah.
We let her shoot Bryson Tiller. You know what I mean? Like,
that's insane.
Just because she connects with me, she's cool.
She grinds, she has opportunity.
Exactly. And she reminds me of who I used to be when I first started out. So it's really, really dope to see somebody else in the game that's, trying to learn. And I stepped away from those Greek life videos and she stepped in. So it was really cool to see that. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, like, I think going back to how you meet these people, I think the big thing that is easily lost now in the time of, Zoom and Instagram is that actual human interaction. One, text over like a DM can mean something, but if you actually talk to them face to face, they get a vibe of who you are, the
100%.
kind of person you are, and the energy you can bring.
Yeah.
I call you on the phone, and we still chopped it up on the phone.
Yeah, we chopped it
up. Now
up.
that we're sitting here, you're sitting with my brother, and
yeah,
here, it's like, bro, the vibes here again.
Look at the gang, brother.
But it makes a big difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you think about like business and growing and connections and networking.
100%.
go to the in-person things. It's going to change the entire thing. And again, that's how you can maybe be a mentee for someone who's doing super well like yourself, right? Yeah. Or that's how you can be a mentor for somebody, or find people that actually want to help you involved in that way.
It's funny you mentioned that, because the first time I actually met Sana, I remember, so I know Sana through a family friend, and she was like, yo, like, can I just pick up, she DM'd me, just cold DM me.
Yeah.
And she told me after we, like, now we're cool, she told me, dude, I was so nervous to DM you. I was like, I texted my family friend, like, yo, is this okay to send?
Dude,
she was shaking in her boots. I remember her telling me the story. And then we met in person. I gave her my camera lens, whatever. I remember the first time she went in for a dap up, I went in for like a little fist bump, and she was like, this is so awkward. And on the walk back, she was like, oh, I fucked it up. I fucked it up. I was like, and then she told me that story. I'm like, to be honest, dude, I was sitting in the car laughing. I was like, I could not care less. That's so funny, bro. But yeah, man.
But that's the interaction that can build that bond. Right?
Exactly. Now it's a story that, again, I'm telling here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm sure she'll love watching this back with you.
Yeah, I'll send it to her. She's, man, good soul.
Yeah, but that's what kind of I want to go. I want to shift again to your life as an entrepreneur. We're now going more into one thing that you live by, right? You told me that this one phrase you're really big about is "we outside."
Oh, that's
so tell me what "we outside" means to you.
Bro.
I'm so curious. You keep saying "we outside, we outside."
Yeah,
it means a lot to you. So what does "we outside" mean?
It started off as a joke in college, right? I used to just say it everywhere, like, "Oh, we outside."
Yeah.
But it genuinely became like anytime anybody, I have it on a hat.
Yeah.
People will say like "we outside" and be like, "Yo, that's like Harshil Thaker's thing." Like, they'll say that. I'm not even kidding.
Wow.
And it just became like a life motto, right? Like, no matter how much stuff pushes you down, no matter how many things are going against you, and how many things are like, yo, this ain't gonna work out, we outside, baby. Like, we gotta figure it out. We're here. Let's get into it. Let's have fun.
Yeah.
That's the biggest part, man. Have fun. Cause again, like this entrepreneur life, man, it's not easy. Me and Neil were chopping about it earlier, but this entrepreneur life is not easy. You make your own hours. Sometimes you overwork yourself because it's like, like, there's no set time. Like, I can't just clock out at 5:30. Sometimes, your hours.
You can't.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and you're waking up at sometimes 8, 9 in the morning and then working until 4, 5, 6 in the morning the next day. I've done so many of those nights. Where it's like, I'm up early and I'm up late. But we outside, man, is genuinely like a life motto I live by. There's a couple. We outside is probably number one.
What's the other one? What are the other ones?
My other one is adapt or be extinct.
Talk about that.
That's a big one.
Adapt or be extinct.
I'm not sure if you know Zerka.
Yeah.
That's one of his things.
Okay, yeah.
So he kind of
interesting character.
Yeah, he kind of said it to me, or he didn't say it to me, but he said in a video, and I'm like, yo, like, this is so facts. So, what I mean? Adapt or be extinct. Social media, anything you do, school. If you don't adapt, you're going to fucking go on the ground. You got to figure out how to get from, all right, yo, like, I'll tell you the best example of this, right? We did a mini club tour with this artist named Ezu.
Okay.
Indian artist. And actually, no, originally it was meant to be Zach Knight.
Okay.
The Bum Diggy, him, right? Yeah. So we had a whole plan. We had a plan for, I'm talking months.
Okay.
The week before, or the week of, rather, I'm at an event, like a holy event, filming. I'm getting spam called by his manager. I'm like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
He goes, yo, Zach couldn't get his visa. The week of the event,
wow.
Zach Knight got denied of his visa.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm at the middle of an event. My camera's covered in color because it's holy.
Yeah, all the holy stuff.
Yeah, right? I'm stressing out. And I'm like, what the hell? What do I do?
Okay, so what'd you do?
And dude, bro, I remember me and not my business partner, but like a guy I do business with. Yeah. His name is Drew. We used to sit there for, dude, I couldn't even tell you how long, every day for the next like 2-3 days. Me and him were up so long.
Yeah. Just
trying to figure out, what can we do? Do we cancel the event?
Yeah.
Do we get a new artist? Do we postpone it? What do we do?
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden, randomly, he goes, yo, I got like Ezu's contact. Do we hit him up? I'm like, bro, you telling me this now? Like, you telling me this? You telling me this 3 days later? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the pinnacle, right? Like, adapt or be extinct. We could have canceled the event. We could have looked like fools.
Took the L.
We could have took L's, bro.
Yeah.
And even, I'll name another example afterwards, but we could have took the L and just been like, yo, sorry, Zach Knight canceled, but we firmed it. We were like, yo, we have this new artist. I made a whole promo video. I don't know if you saw it, but I made it like I felt like I edited myself in a TV. I pretended
Oh
to be
yeah,
a newscaster.
it was the three of you sitting in the three different chairs.
Yes.
Yeah, like 44,000 views on that
Yeah,
video.
44,000 views, so many shares.
Yeah.
And again, adapt or be extinct, right? Like I ended up making that promo video the same day.
Wow.
Posted the same day. It went viral, like it went crazy.
Yeah, dude, it went crazy. Yeah.
Half the people didn't even come to the event. They're like, "Yo, we love the promo video."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The event still did pretty well. Philly like did as well as it's gonna do. New York did great.
Yeah.
Obviously, it would have done better if we still had the original plan.
course,
But
yeah.
you know,
You made the best out of the situation. You adapted.
exactly,
Yeah.
bro. Without adapting, we would have looked like fools.
I mean, you think about it this way. Like, I'll use even some historical examples. I can think of a bunch. Look at Blockbuster and look at Netflix.
Exactly.
Blockbuster was in every single store, and Netflix used to do, CD rentals. What happened? Blockbuster never went online, never went digital. Netflix took it to streaming now.
Exactly.
And look what happened now. Netflix is the biggest streaming company in the world. Look at basketball, man. Basketball is a huge example of this. I know for you sports heads at home, 10, 15 years ago, basketball players used to just attack the paint, slam dunk, get free throws.
Now we got Steph Curry shooting from half court.
Now the entire game is, all we're doing is shooting threes. A 2-point shot is a bad shot. Kobe Bryant made his living off that mid-range jumper.
Yep.
In today's NBA,
Turnaround
it
jumper,
would be a
bro.
completely different game now.
Yeah,
So
man.
I think a big part of what is now, I think also I'm going to apply this to the teaching that I give at Growthstreet with career advice is people think the game is still, I'm going to have a 4.0 GPA and go to a good college, I'll get a good job. That's not how it works anymore. The game has changed. Now it's all about selling yourself. You're competing now not with just your local area and your university. You're competing globally now.
With 500 other applicants.
Yeah,
You see that on LinkedIn.
Literally, dude, yeah, because dude, you literally the way that it is now is before it was only in-person interviews.
Yeah.
Now because of the COVID and Zoom, you're actually applying and competing with people from all over the country. When I was applying for LinkedIn, my last round group interview, one girl from MIT, one girl from Columbia, one girl from UNC. I'm a 2.9 GPA major from Maryland University,
Yeah.
and I got to compete with these people. And the key is not now. I tell everyone all the time, you can't just have good grades and you can't just do the normal thing anymore because
100%.
you're competing globally now.
Exactly.
So when it comes to companies, when it comes to what you're doing now, it's you have to find a way to play the new game that's being played. We're talking about that with content creation too, man. Again, games always changing. It used to be link in bio, bio. Now it's comment to get DM something, right? It's always changing.
Or share the post, or like you got to have a bio on the Instagram thing so people replay the video. It's like little things like that. But one thing I do want to emphasize is the fact that there's always going to be someone better than you.
Yeah.
And it goes for like even like in a relationship, right? There's always going to be someone better looking than you, right? There's always going to be someone smarter than you. There's always going to be someone more talented in the thing you do.
Yeah.
But it's about how you use what you have to the best of your ability to get you where you want to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could be a fucking 5-star model that models for Calvin Klein.
Yeah.
Or you could be me, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where that model is going to be if I'm making, if I'm doing what I want to do.
Yep, exactly.
And like, again, there's going to be someone always better than you, but it's about who you know. It's about how you utilize the people you know.
Yeah.
And not in like let me just use you kind of way.
Yeah, of course.
In a way where it's like, yo, like let's help each other out. Let's be mutually beneficial here.
I mean, think about it, right? There's the famous quote. It's like hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Bro.
You think about it, and I'll use a lot of different references. You can be the most talented singer, the most talented artist, whatever. If you don't leave your damn house to go sing for somebody or make a song, you're never going to get famous. And someone who just knows how to use auto-tune, like T-Pain, for example, you know he's a good singer, as an example.
Yeah.
But someone who doesn't know how to exactly sing the best but use auto-tune, they can get more famous and be more successful than you because they know the game. You got to know the game more than again, whatever your natural talents are, because again, use the whole model example. I mean, if someone, I'll use like tennis, for example, Novak Djokovic, people will say he was not the most talented player, plays fundamentally well, and someone's like Nick Kyrgios, who's they call the most talented tennis player ever, but he didn't have that passion and that will to do something.
Yeah.
So I don't care how talented you are, if you're not putting in that work and
100%.
figuring out a plan to actually bring what you're good at to the limelight, you're not going to be successful.
100%. I think that's like one of the most important things. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Exactly,
I think that's one of the biggest things. Like, I know I'm not the most talented video guy. I know I'm not the most talented photo guy, but without any hesitation, I bust my ass. You know what I mean? I'm staying up late nights. I'm editing. I'm making.
I was saying, what does that look like for you, man? Like, what does an average day in the life of Harshil Thaker look like? Because again, I always want to put on the vision of, okay, I'm watching this. I'm in high school. I'm in early college.
Yeah.
And I want to be you. I'm sure there's some kids, you get all those DMs. I'm guarantee you 100 of these people who are going to watch this are going to say, I want to be you. I want to know the sauce. What should I do every day? So more than you telling them what to do, I think it's powerful when you share what you actually do.
Yeah.
So then they can imitate that and learn from you what you're doing.
Yeah.
So what do you do now day to day to be successful, to go and grind, to make these videos, to make this money, to be who you want to be?
Yeah, it's a little weird because my schedule is so all over the place. Like I don't have a set like, oh, wake up at this time, do this. One thing I really emphasize is wake up, go to the gym, because the gym honestly changes my life. It clears your mind off of so many stresses. That's a big part of my life, and I love working in coffee shops.
Okay.
Or anywhere that's not my home. No disrespect to my parents. I just
yeah.
can't work at home. It just doesn't work for me. Even when I was at Rutgers, I was never at the apartment. I was always at this place called Clo in Edison.
Okay.
And I used to just grind it out there.
Yeah.
I used to sit there all day and just grind it out. But yeah, man, just film content. I edit. I make videos. I go to shoots if I have a shoot. Sometimes I gotta fly out Wednesday.
Okay.
I have to go out to LA. And I'm just going to be filming all day. So there's no set schedule, but it's more of a thing where it's like, yo, you got to just kind of go for it and just do it consistency is key, right? Like whether you're editing every day, whether you're filming every day, whether you're doing social media every single day, whether you're hosting something, networking, marketing, you got to do it consistently. And that's like kind of a blessing and a curse with entrepreneurship, right? Like if you stop working, it's all going to go down.
Yeah, one day miss is, again, like someone else is spending that time there working. They're passing you, or you're killing your own momentum too.
Yep, exactly. Momentum's a huge part of it. Right now, our group has great momentum, Apeiron.
Yeah.
And we're really trying to benefiting that. We have a social media game plan ready to go. My momentum, for example, these daily videos are really helping my growth. You know, I'm at, the little metric where it says like X amount of viewers per day or whatever. Yeah, like right now I'm at 150 per day.
Okay.
150K rather, sorry.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
like accounts reached.
Yeah, accounts reached. Yeah,
accounts
that's the metric. So I'm at 150K.
Yeah, you turn the light back on because the middle camera is fine. Okay. Yeah, we should use the side ones better. You can keep going.
No, this is I can't get over this, by the way. This is still sick.
Yeah.
But so it's all about consistency, and that also goes with the social media algorithm. Posting every day. Not every video is gonna hit, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
naturally, dude. Some of them get like 700.
Yeah.
Some get 100, but some can get you that 45,000.
And that's sometimes you're just like, yo, like
I spent 4 hours making this video, bro.
I
Why
made
is it not
the
doing
best
good?
video I ever made. That shit got 1,000 views.
Yeah.
But how come some bullshit video about my haircut got 20,000 views? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bro, I posted a video about my haircut. It was a funny video. I just throw my protein shake on the ground. You know that meme where it's like, yo, I got to go the long way home now because I got a fresh fade. Bro, I posted, I got 20,000 views.
Yeah, wow.
I'm like, this took me literally a minute and a half to make. And I busted my ass for 6 hours.
All these edits and the lighting and the audio.
Bro, you know what I mean? But again, that's the devil in the game, you know what I mean? Like you might bust your ass for so many hours, but that one video, if that one video just pops off, that's all you need. My greatest example of this, and this is actually why I'm going to LA next week, is there's this artist named Code.
Okay.
And he dropped this song called Deepika.
Yeah, I've been seeing it, dude. I saw actually that song pop up on my reels of like him in the shopping cart and stuff.
Yeah.
And then when I called you and I was looking through your stuff, I was like,
that's my video.
Ain't no way you're the one who made that video.
Yeah. So I think he's a great example of that, right? Like he dropped that song, fire song, but he constantly made content. And he's from LA and he came here to Jersey and he hit me up. He was like, yo, like, let's go film some stuff. I'm like, I'm down, bro. He came all the way from New York to Edison.
Yeah.
And we filmed at that Patel Brothers. And that video has over 800,000 views now.
I saw it.
800,000 views. And you know what's crazy? Today, this morning, SZA reposted it. Or, no, liked it.
Wow.
SZA.
Wow, that's crazy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That video and another one of my videos.
And you made that video, bro.
Yes. And that's crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's insane.
So he's been busting ass. He's the same age as me, 21.
Yeah.
And, in the beginning, it was a good song. He was getting traction, but nowhere near as,
Yeah.
And he's at like 16, 17K followers now.
Yeah.
He was at $3,000 like 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
It can happen like that.
Like this.
And all you got to do is, again, you take more shots, you put more kindle into that fire, one day that fire is going to pop.
Exactly.
I mean, you even look at, also, you can't expect it to be overnight either, but in a way where you think it'll happen in the first month, 2 months, 3 months.
No.
I'm sure he's been making music for a long time.
Yes.
And if you look at someone like Joe Rogan, these podcasters, or someone like, viral artists and creators, like I'll use someone like Nav, all these artists like Drake, they actually took them 4, 5, 6 years before they hit their
100%.
moment. Like, Joe Rogan was actually recording a podcast for 5 years before he got 1,000 views on a video, and he's already a famous person.
Yeah.
So the way I look at it too is like, you have to just be super confident. Like you have to be almost psychotic in your belief.
Delusional in a way.
Yeah, you do, and like the more you truly do believe in yourself,
100.
and you keep going every day. I'm going back to the same well again, right? You can go fishing 100 times, but if you know that whale's in there somewhere, you're gonna keep revisiting that hole. As long as you know that when you're going back to that well, something's there for you, at some point it's going to pay off. Exactly. But the caveat is you got to get that 1% better every time. Like what I tell everyone I work with now is the content you make today has to feel like the best possible thing that you can create in today.
Yes.
It's not the best. Like you can't compare yourself to like someone like, let's say there's a first-time photographer. They can't watch your video and say, I have to be as good as him. But what they can say is this the best I can do today?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay, good. Now tomorrow, can I get 1% better? 1% better? 1% better. A penny 30 days later, if you double it, is $1 billion.
Exactly.
So if you can put that perspective on in your own mind where if I can just be 1% better every single day and double my own success, dude, you do it for a long enough time, you're gonna have this moment like the guy Code has.
Exactly, bro. And you know, it's like a thing. Again, we said it, like you have to be delusional.
Yeah,
there's gonna be so many people where they're like, "Yo, what are you doing with your life?"
You know, they're sharing your videos like, "Yo, look at this cornball."
Yeah, bro. I can, bro. One of my promo videos has over 450 shares.
Okay.
I can guarantee you a solid 80% of those
are those like
85%. Like, yo, what the hell is this fucking guy doing?
Yeah.
What is he doing?
He's doing too much.
You're doing too much.
Yeah.
There's a reason where I'm at. You know, there's a reason I'm at where I'm at. Is
there's a method to the madness, bro.
There's a method to the madness, bro. Everything it's like you're playing checkers, not chess. You know what I mean? You gotta put the particular piece in the right spot.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm still learning. I'm still young, bro. Like I'm not gonna say I know everything, which is again that's delusional that I know everything, which is not true at all. I'm still learning. I'm still in this process of, you know, figuring things out. But I've kind of figured out this method of especially in the social media game, man. Content. Just put shit out there.
Yeah, just document. I think a big thing too is that people want to buy into people's journeys and what they're doing. So it's almost like just documenting what you're doing. Because what's going to be more valuable, you just telling people what to do or you actually showing them what you do?
Exactly.
And I think for people watching at home, it's like, I don't care if you're a student. I don't care if you are a 35-year-old. Like, I see this one guy. He posts, I think his thing's called like 5 to 9. And his entire page is him going to his day job and saying, I'm okay with my regular life. And this is his whole thing.
I think I know he takes out his laptop.
He zips it out slowly. Yeah. He cracks his beer with his dog. It's the same video every time. Each video, 900,000 likes, 800,000 likes, 1 million likes. And all he's doing is documenting. So I think for everyone, it's like, no matter what you're doing, I told this to my interns again today in our content calls, like, the key way, everything in life is kind of like putting something out there and getting things in return for it when you don't even try to even mean for it. Like for me, when I was in 2021, when I was recruiting for companies, right? For me, I wanted to work for a really large company after college. I wanted to make a bag, you know, do that whole thing there. What I would do is I would always be posting on LinkedIn, editing my profile, things like that. What would happen is I put out so much documentation of what I was up to that companies like Bloomberg, you know, like Google, like Microsoft, they would DM me for me to work for them. And the same applies to everything else. Like whether it's content creation, whether it's advertising your business, the more that you just document what you're doing, so the law of attraction, someone's gonna find that interesting. You become an asset now.
Exactly.
And that's what people have to do.
Exactly. And that's also a great point that you make is like a lot of, especially this goes with any industry, but I really want to point this out for DJs. Like, you know, coming from a nightlife background, coming from a background where there's 50 million DJs hitting you up. Yo, can I DJ your next show?
Yeah.
Yo, bro, if your Instagram page is just like highlight video. I don't know how you control the crowd. It could be all these, they're polished videos, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, I'm a video guy, right? And I'm saying you don't want a polished video if you're a DJ. You want to post raw footage of people getting turned.
Yeah.
You want a motherfucker in the back. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you want. And I tell DJs all the time, dude, post your stuff.
Yeah.
Get an Insta 360 camera. Just set it up there. Just let it run.
Yeah. Show that you can control that vibe.
Exactly.
And get what you want out of it.
Exactly. Or get a friend.
Yeah.
Get a friend to just record clips for you on the phone and post those clips. You can't hesitate to post.
Yeah.
If you truly want to make it in a profession, you have to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
You have to. Whether that's social media, whether that's networking, whether that's just going around and doing gigs.
Yeah.
You have to just do it. You know
And
what I
when
mean?
did that really help you elevate your whole personal brand? Like, when's the moment you went from, oh, I know this one photographer, to, oh, this is Harshil?
Yeah.
When did that shift really happen for you? And what do you think made that, like, kind of happen? Like,
That
what was
my
the
first
way?
promo video ever.
Yeah.
My first ever promo video. I remember I made that video, and people are like, "Yo, what the hell is like? What is
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
bro?"
yeah.
At the time, now the market's extremely saturated, but at the time, nothing really was going on in the college party
Yeah.
scene, and nothing was really happening. And I remember I was the first one
to do
to
it.
start these promo videos where I'm in the videos. I got a couple of phrases, "Get out of here," and all this other bullshit I'd be saying. I know deep down it's corny, right? Like we
Yeah,
get
but
it.
you do what you gotta do for it.
You got to do what you got to do, but also is more like whether it's corny or not, it works.
And it's authentic.
It's authentic. That's me, dude. I'm a goofball.
Yeah.
Bro, you'll see me after this fucking going to Bellworks and hooping. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
or filming some videos with Kush.
Yeah, no one wants to be the super buttoned up people because when people see weird, they relate to weird
Exactly.
in a way. Like, that's
Everybody's
how it is.
weird, dude.
Everyone is dead ass,
Everybody's
yeah.
got their own fucking thing that they do.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
like I'll say all these "we outside." and
Yeah.
I'll do these goofy ass things.
But that's how people can connect with each other.
Exactly. I think
man.
even relating back to the social media thing, right? Like authenticity is the best way to kind of get somewhere.
Yeah.
Because you could have these polished, looks like, oh, like, I'm Harshil Thaker. I'm a video guy. This is what I do. I film weddings, bro. The one of my favorite kind of video guys out there is Odyssey Films. I still owe them a video, so I'm sorry. I know we're like a year delayed, but
It's coming.
It's coming. I promise. But one of my favorite, like I did a wedding with them last year, and I filmed BTS for them. And one of the coolest things about them is just they were just absolutely goofballs.
Yeah.
Like, and I had so much fun with them. I literally, that was my first time meeting them in freaking Punta Cana, bro.
That's crazy.
And that was my first ever real wedding in a way.
Yeah. That kind of event.
I was just like, dude, I'm nervous. Like, I'm flying all by myself. I've never met these guys before.
Yeah.
We get there. They're like, yo, let's take a shot together.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is my
Let's get
guy.
after it. Yeah, this is my guy now,
These
bro.
are my guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just the energy that they projected and especially the tips that they gave me. And now they're doing their thing. Like, they were a little small in the beginning. Now they're killing it.
Yeah.
And they filmed so many weddings. And they're at so many weddings that, I'd love to be at. And it's cool to see because in a way they are also my mentors.
Yeah.
So and they're your age. They're 23,
23,
24,
man.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it's cool to see. And authenticity, this goes all back to authenticity. The reason I connected with them is because they were goofballs. And I'm also a clown.
We're people, man. That's how it is, bro.
Man. And again, at the end of the day, a CEO might be all buttoned up in his office. As soon as he gets home, he's got a wife that he's just gonna mess around with. He's got kids that he's gonna, you know what I mean? Like all that other shit.
Yeah.
Everybody's the same, and deep down, everybody has the same kind of morals, man.
Yeah, I agree, man. And that's where I'm excited to go to the next thing is you were talking about almost those people being mentors in a way, and now I want to get into like your element of you being a mentor. And I know you had a bunch of your followers and fans ask you questions, so I'm just gonna ask you some of these questions, man. It's gonna be you literally addressing your audience,
man.
who you're talking to, who you've been speaking with. So I'm pulling those up right now, and we're just gonna bang out some of these some questions people have been asking you, man. How does that sound?
Dude, I love that. Let's make it happen.
So
man.
some of the ones that I have here that stand out to me is one person asked, where do you see yourself in the future, and where do you want your career to take you?
Man, that's a great question because right now, again, I have this goal. Like I said, I want to be this entrepreneur who has a team around him, has a thing, does what he loves.
Yeah.
There's no set like future goal, but there is a situation where it's like, yo, I want to have a media production company. That's one of the big, like I have me right now and I have a small team.
Yeah.
But I want to get to the point where I could be like, hey, yo, Sana, can you go to this thing and film?
Like an agency.
Yeah, and I'll executive produce it, right?
Yeah.
I'll do whatever you need, but like an agency is the big kind of goal, the end goal that I'm trying to get to right now. Yeah.
That's a good goal. That's a cool goal, man.
Yeah.
I think, again, a lot of those things that I'm glad you're sharing them because this is the real way your brain works. I think 100%. People don't always see this on Instagram. That's why I'm so excited to have you on this podcast because this is the way people are actually going to look into your actual brain and how you think about things.
100%.
So one question someone asked, Shakir427 asks, how do you put away your failures to focus on your next project?
Yeah,
because I'm sure you've had ups and downs. I mean, we were talking about your documentary and things like that you wanted to work on and you restarted it. So how do you relate with failure to focus on your next project?
Yeah, man. Apeiron has gone through so many failures. We had a couple unsuccessful events. but we realized like, yo, listen, there's gonna be downs.
Yeah.
It's like a mountain, dude. Like not every mountain range is fucking all like it's not
Yeah,
Mount
yeah,
Everest
yeah.
all the time. So I think that the best way to do it is be like, yo, listen, this is what I like. I literally have a note sheet. Every
Yeah.
kind of quote unquote failure that I have, anything like that didn't go as planned, I have a note sheet. Say for example, a shoot didn't go well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'll make a note sheet and be like, yo, this is what I could have done.
Yep.
Like this is where it kind of fucked up. My battery died. Should have brought an extra battery. SD
Yeah.
card got full. Should have
brought
should have brought
something
more
else,
SD
yep.
cards. Just little things like that. So I think the best way to go about failure is just understand what went wrong. What went wrong? You're not
Yeah.
gonna avoid failure, but failure, like coming back from failure, shows more of your character than always succeeding.
I agree. And Alex Hormozy, someone I really look up to, he says that the most successful people are problem solvers.
Exactly.
Problem solvers. So what that means to me is I was relating to you where one day I was not happy with how everything was going in the company. I just had a moment where I was like, yo, shit's not working out the way I want it to go out. What's going on? So what did I do, bro? I literally went on my whiteboard. There's a whiteboard back there. I wrote down every single problem I had with every single thing that I had, which were, again, could be considered failures. Okay, now let me start addressing these problems one step at a time. And again, the same way you are with writing all the things that you could be doing better, the way you can turn a failure into your next project and succeed, I think in my brain is, okay, like, let me figure out what things went wrong and what's the one solution, and then apply that solution in forever. And you're gonna make that mistake again. That's kind of the way it goes.
100%. I think, yeah, that's the best way to put it, man. Just documenting where shit went wrong
Yeah, man.
and going from there.
Yeah, the next question I have for you is, this is a big, we're talking about social media, and this is also coming from a DJ. He asks, how do you stay positive if your socials are not putting up the traction or hitting the numbers that you want to be
It's
hitting?
got to be Shane, right? DJ Shatter.
DJ Shatter,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I had a feeling. He's asked me this question before.
Yeah.
But social media is just, again, it goes back to what we were talking about, right? Like, not everything is gonna hit. Not everything is gonna hit. These polished videos that you worked hours on, they always won't do the best, right? You might have paid, for example, I filmed a couple videos for him, right?
Yeah.
And I'm assuming, I don't really look at the metrics, but I'm assuming they didn't do it too hot or they did well, whatever, right? Those style of videos don't always hit, but it's about how often you post, right?
Yeah.
And also, it has to be, like, one of the biggest things in social media, especially on Instagram right now, this is like a cheat code. You have to make your content shareable. Shareability is the number one key to virality.
And let's break that down. What is shareability? How do you create a shareable
Yeah,
video?
so there's three types of content really that are shareable. There's educational content, there's funny content, and then there's just stuff that like that people just want to see, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So like just trends.
Yeah, the way I unpack that too is like if you can itch an emotional reaction from a video, that's the way it looks. Like, for example, the same way that you said that one video that you were doing that was promotional that people thought was corny, that they shared that. There's a couple ways you can do that, right? Why did they share that? Because their body reacted in such a way to that video that they wanted to share it. For me, I share videos all the time that I think, wow, I want to use this kind of video. So you did one video, that whole breaking news stuff. I thought it was so good. I saved it and shared it myself because I was like, that's cinematic, that's valuable. I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna save it. So I think the key things when it comes to, I think anything you're creating in life, touch an emotional reaction. And there's two things: always valuable and entertaining.
Yeah.
If you can touch on those two things, it's really big.
Yeah, I think, like, for example, one of my biggest, like, I think it has over 600 shares, is this promo video of me and a girl, and we were breaking up in the car.
Yeah.
And the whole theme of the event was a stoplight party, right? Red if you're single, green if you're taken, yellow if it's complicated.
Yeah.
Everybody's going through a breakup. You know what I mean? People know how it feels. Like, you get that gut-wrenching feeling.
Yeah.
Damn, I just got broken up with.
Yeah.
I'm putting that in video for him. You know what I mean? And she's like, oh, I'm out of here. I don't want to do this anymore. You know what I mean? So that again, emotional connection. And for example, just to answer his question in particular about DJing, dude, play nostalgic songs.
Yeah.
You know, like, not play nostalgic, make content about, yo, if you're a 2000s baby, this is, yo, let me know if you remember this song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And it might not show your actual ability to DJ, but it lets you connect with an audience that may not have been there in the first place, right? For example, if Shane wanted to post a video where it was like, what do I do? You know, what content do I post? Bro, 2000 video. He's older than me, right? Like he's like a little older. So I'd be like, yo, 1900, like 1990s, 2000s, any of that kind of music stuff.
Only 1990s kids would love.
Yeah, exactly. Like exactly. Or like any of the big DJs, Nas, Tupac, Biggie, any cool thing like that.
Happen to your demographic.
Exactly, man. And that's the biggest part of it. You have to understand your demographic. And that's where, Instagram Insights come into play. But that's a whole nother
And another one again, like, so how did you take the skills that you learned from your photography and media industry and apply that to your new venture, which is your hospitality industry?
Yeah, man. Like, again, that all ties back into the promo videos, right? Like, that's one of my biggest assets with Apeiron.
Yeah.
We have media for days.
Yeah.
We have this ability where Jason or Krish can be like, yo, can you film a promo video with this thing? And I'll be like, all right, let me write up a script. Let me go to Philly real quick. Let me get the location. Let me film the video. Let me set up the lights.
Yep.
That's the biggest asset we have to our company is our ability to market well and connect with an audience. That's why our events have been so successful, and that's why we've been able to do things in New York. We've been able to diverge into Penn State now, and it's just that ability to connect. Because if you just have a flyer on an Instagram page, be like, oh, another party, But if you film a promo video, yo, fucking September 1st, we're here. Come to this party. We got this person coming out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're talking directly into a camera, people relate, especially if you see them in person.
Yes, exactly. And the whole thing is associating something with a feeling. If you can associate your event or your brand or your content with a certain feeling, then now they become used to, oh, it's a Harshil thing. I know it's going to be a banger.
Exactly. Like, oh, this is an Apeiron event. This is about to be good.
Yep. And again, I'm looking at some of these more questions. I think there's a couple good ones, but we'll keep going. So one here I have is, as someone who wants to remain in the shadows but still succeed online as a creator, what tips do you have for someone like that?
Man, this got to be Arjun, right? This is
Arjun. Again, I think of it, it's funny because especially I think of it in the photographer space, you're behind the camera a lot of the times. So a lot of these photographers might have that natural inclination, but if they want to be in front of the camera, they would be.
Yeah.
So what advice do you have for someone who wants to be, more behind the scenes, but still be successful in that space?
Yeah. So a little backstory. Arjun's a producer.
Okay.
He's been he's produced for Zach Knight. He's produced for a lot of artists.
Okay.
And me and him, like I shot for him a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this. And he was like, yo, like, I want to be out there, but like I kind of want to be low key about it. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be right in everyone's face.
Not everyone wants to be Steve Jobs. Some people want to be Steve Wozniak.
Exactly. Like for example, a big example of in the producer space is Metro Boomin, right? Like he's always in front of a fucking he'll put himself on the album covers. He'll do all these things, and that works. But then there's somebody like Zach Dean or Mike Dean rather, who's known just because of Travis Scott, but he's like kind of behind the scenes. Like if you didn't know Mike Dean, you're not gonna know Mike Dean. Yeah. But there's no piece of like, for example, like I think for me it's a little different, right? Because I put myself in front of the camera all the time. Yeah. I don't think personally I'm the best person to give that advice, but the one thing I would say is just don't put yourself in front of the camera, but have subliminal things, right? Like have a producer tag, have mustard on that beat or whatever, right? Like something that associates your song with you, and people might not know what you look like. Yeah. But if you have a thing, Metro Boomin wants some, you know what I mean? If Metro Boomin wasn't a thing, people know that it's a Metro song. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think that's the biggest thing about a producer tag, right? Like it's like, oh, this person's song, this guy.
It's faceless content.
Faceless content, exactly. Yeah. That's just, I guess, rinse out your name as much as possible. That's my advice.
Yeah, I love that. I think this is the last question I have for you in this space, but what is a skill that you believe you acquired from school that was like, whether it's in the classroom, whether it was from experience, that you actually can use in your day-to-day work now? Because I'm going to give him an explanation for this question because, again, most people who are watching this are in school. Yeah. And whether they have this idea they want to be an entrepreneur or they're just trying to be curious, like how did he actually turn a school thing into this thing? So what are some of those things that, translate well for you for school to what you're doing now?
Busting ass, bro. I learned real quick. As soon as Calc 1 came through, and I took Calc 1 in high school. As soon as Calc 1 in college came through, I realized that, this is a different ball game. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
shit ain't sweet, man.
Yeah, it ain't a joke. So school really taught me how to kind of time manage and bust my ass to another level. Yeah. I think, especially, again, we mentioned earlier, engineering school, man. They try to weed you out in engineering. Chem 1, Chem 2, all these difficult ass classes.
Dude, Chem 131 weeded my ass out of pre-med, bro. Yeah. So I know what you're talking about. I got that D+ my first semester.
Exactly. I almost failed both of my chem. I passed by 1 point in both of my chem classes. Yeah. And like, dude, that taught me like, yo, you gotta like bust your ass. You know, you gotta think outside the box. We were talking about problem solving. Engineers are the top problem solvers. I'm not even saying this because I'm one. I think they're one of the biggest problem solvers in the entire world. Our job is to literally build shit and solve a problem.
Yeah. Make society work.
Exactly, make society work, right? So becoming a problem solver, like my degree's cool and all. Like I love having civil engineering degree, right? Like I'm sure I could get a job, make a lot of money off of it. It taught me how to solve a problem. That's why engineering degrees are actually very valuable.
Yeah.
Because it's like you can realistically besides like law and medicine, right? You can go into
Almost anything
you want, to some sort of degree, right?
Yeah.
Is because it teaches you how to solve a problem. Yo, if this shit goes wrong, adapter be extinct, right? If a fucking bridge fails, how you gonna rebuild it? If an artist cancels on you in the same week, how you gonna fix it? If this post flops and you have the event the next week and you only have 300 tickets sold, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? That was the biggest kind of lesson that school has taught me, is that motto of adapter be extinct.
Yeah. I think that's great. I think, again, these questions that people ask, I love how we're getting to answer them now, because I'm sure you get, a ton of these.
Yeah.
So one thing that's not on here that I think I'm curious about for you is, what's the most common question and advice people ask from you? And I'm curious what the answer to that question is too, because I think you know your audience more than anyone, right? I know your audience from the audience perspective, but you're the one in the lab getting all the messages.
Yeah.
So we talked about, you're really excited to be on this platform because you can answer, really let people know, one, that free game, but two, you can directly communicate with them on, yo, this is the real shit that I want to tell you guys because you guys keep asking me.
Yeah.
So what is something that's the most asked question you get, and what's your response to it?
Dude, the number one asked question is, first of all, how do you know A Boogie?
So how do you know A Boogie?
How do you know A Boogie? I'm like, come on, man. Like, I'm so tired of this question. But in terms of like more like gameability and learning,
there's value, man.
Yeah, there's this thing, right, where if you're just sitting there, right, you could be a couch potato, you could be lazy, but you can have crazy dreams. We mentioned it earlier, right? Acting on your dreams is the biggest thing. I had a girl hit me up the other day saying, yo, do you like, what's your advice to get gigs? What's your best advice?
Yeah.
What do you have? And again, everything that I've mentioned today kind of ties into this, right? Like, you got to put yourself out there, go to these things, talk to new people, do things like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was even your sales pitch to me. Like, yo, this is a win-win situation for both of us.
Yeah.
And like, it's true, you know, like,
I'm glad you think so. Right?
Yeah, no, it's so true. Listen, we both get content out of it.
Yep.
We're both grinding. We're both doing this thing where we got to bust our ass to make it.
Yep.
You know, like, I can go to fucking work at 9 a.m. on Monday and get my paycheck and call it a day.
Yeah.
But I just love, I guess in a way it's a chase, right? Like people always mention, like girls always mention, yo, like you just love the chase. You don't like, you don't like me. Bro, I love the chase in terms of working. Women is a different story. But in terms of working, funny, bro, the chase is like, I love the chase. I love hustling. I love messaging people.
That's when the payoff matters, man. Because
exactly.
Again, I think what people may not know about business is that every day is not a dub. You get maybe one
Most days are L's.
Yeah, most days are L's. And the days you're winning, the only reason that win feels so good is because you've had those 11 to, those 9 a.m. to 4 a.m. nights. It's like, dude, finally it paid off, right? Yeah. So that's what I think, again, like, dude, I'll look this to myself, bro. Like, the amount, we talked about it earlier, the amount of days that we have been spending grinding and just nothing pays off instantly, right?
Yeah,
Again,
man.
I spent 4 hours, 5 hours making a clip, and the clip will get 900 views. I'm like,
it's like, damn,
wow,
what the hell
I
was
could
that
be
all
working
for?
those 4 hours, making a couple $100.
Yep.
But it's that going back to the same well, going over and over and over again. So that's what it's all about.
And everything, you know what the thing is, like everything will pay off. And I just have this belief in the back of my head, like, yo, I'm doing all this stuff and it's working. Right now it's working. But if it wasn't working, I would have, dude, I'm just wired differently where I just want to keep fucking pushing no matter how many times people beat down on me or how many times the algorithm is not working for me or whatever, something's against me or my camera broke or some bullshit, right?
Yeah.
I just have this drive to keep going. Like I don't know, maybe I'm just a psycho, but
But dude, that's what makes people successful. I'm not an Eagles fan, but their quarterback is a really good quote. Jalen Hurts. He says, "I had a purpose before they had an opinion."
I used to shoot for Jalen Hurts. Yeah,
there you go. Okay, yeah, but that's one of the quotes he always says. And I could not agree with that more. People are always going to have an opinion, bro. And going back to what you said about why something like this is valuable for everyone involved, what I say to everyone who knows who's been working with Growthstreet is I try to do everything the right way.
Yeah.
And what does the right way mean? I call it the value triangle, right? The value triangle means every single person touching here on the same thing that we're working on is getting what they want out of this experience. So whether it's this podcast, right? You're getting your promotional content, you're getting to share your story with your audience. I'm getting to have an amazing guest on with a good following, but then also everyone at home gets this amazing, valuable information and a good experience, right?
100%.
Everyone wins. Whether you are an engineer and you're working for a company, right? All right, you're making good money, the engineering place gets a good work out of you, and society benefits from your quality of work.
Exactly.
As long as the value triangle is happy and everyone's involved in what you're doing, that's what you should try to be doing, right? So I don't care how old you are, if you're in school, if you're 19, if you're an entrepreneur when you're 30, if you know that everything that you're touching is benefiting and feels like it's getting done the right ethical way, then good things are going to happen objectively, because if you're putting out good into the universe will give you good back.
Exactly. It's funny you mentioned that, because in the documentary that I was talking about, so just to give a little background for the folks here.
We have a nice live audience behind the
camera. So there's this big event called Indo Warehouse. We spoke a little bit about on the phone. Big EDM, like house Indian kind of vibe, right?
Yeah.
Sold out shows all over the world, and I got tasked to film the mini documentary for it.
Wow, congrats on that, man.
Thank you. And it's through the guy. It's another podcast, Conversation with Chai. Yeah. Shout out Aram, that's bro.
Yeah, I see the clips all the time. Conversations with Chai, really amazing South Asian community, elevating that.
100%.
I love that, man. Love it.
But he spoke. I'm not sure. Are you familiar with Pop Shift?
I've seen the content. I've seen the brand.
Yes.
The name clicks a bell, but I don't know exactly what it is.
Yeah, the same thing. Kind of South Asian highlighting, South Asians, whatever, right? So I remember filming them two were having a conversation, the CEO and Aram. And they brought up that thing about doing things ethically. Yeah. Like these Indo Warehouse people, they want everybody to win. You know what I mean? They gave so many people media credentials.
Yeah.
But like in their case, right, they're getting content out of it. The media guy himself is getting content out of it. Experience shooting at the Brooklyn Mirage, the greatest venue in, I want to say, the world.
Yeah.
Right? It's one of the greatest venues in the world. I had the great opportunity to shoot it. And it's by the way, that was one of my biggest, like, kind of check marks.
Yeah.
So that was really cool.
The Brooklyn Mirage.
Yeah, I like showed up. I was like, damn, I'm here.
I'm really doing this now.
Like, I'm here. You know
what I mean? We're shooting a football high school games, and now I'm shooting the freaking Brooklyn Mirage for
dude, literally. And that was one of the biggest things. Ethically doing things where everybody benefits, and it's not a selfish act. Yeah. Selfless.
Give, don't take. Be a
exactly.
giver, not a taker.
Helping other DJs grow their platform, giving them letting them DJ at the Brooklyn Mirage. That's nuts.
That's an insane opportunity.
They have a label. They own a label with all these different singers, right? They help them grow at these Indo Warehouse events, and that's just one example.
Because, dude, why wouldn't someone want to associate with a brand if they're not getting exactly what they want out of it? Exactly. If everyone, like, again, you create an event, like your networking event, I'm sure the way it works is everyone who's going to be involved has something that they are benefit about and they're passionate about. You do that with this. You do that with events like that. As long as everyone feels like they're winning, it's going to work for everyone, because then what happens is that the chain effect is, okay, if everyone involved is doing what exactly they want to do, working towards their goals, and it's happening, then what happens from that? Everyone involved is actually going to be putting in their best work, their best quality work. And the halo effect of that is now everyone involved is putting in their best work. The event's going to inherently be an amazing event. And the most important piece is that all the clients and people who are involved are going to have the best possible experience. And then you can run it back, and keep building on top of it. And then brand now is an image of, we do good by everyone involved, and we create insane memories.
And you know what, that's kind of the what do you call it? The bad side of this hospitality life.
Yeah,
right.
Let's talk about that. What is some of the, because we've been, naturally we're excited about what we do.
Yeah.
So what are some of the struggles you face? The bad side, I'm curious to you to talk about that a little bit more.
Dude, the nightlife industry is ruthless. We were talking about helping each other and this triangle of benefit. It's the opposite in nightlife, and it's a shame to say, because as a company, we want to help other people grow, right?
Yeah.
That's what the whole point of this networking event is. We're losing money on this networking event. We're not making any money.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's free RSVP. If you show up, you show up.
Yeah.
So as a company, as Apeiron, we want to kind of promote, like, hey, look, you're going to benefit from this. We're going to benefit just by having an event, right? We look good. Yeah. But there's a lot of people in this nightlife industry. I'm not going to name names, but they love to take advantage. And they know, especially, me, Jaisal Krish, being young.
Yeah.
they will abuse us.
Yeah.
And they will think that we don't know what we're doing, and you're making a silly rookie mistake, and we take that advice.
Yeah.
But then we think like, yo, the industry is lucrative because they just want it for their benefit.
Want the bag, yeah.
They want the bag. They do not care. They will rinse the money out of you.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing, right? Like,
what's a good experience where you've actually experienced that? I'm curious.
yeah. So again, I'm not gonna name names, but there's a couple venues that will, be like, yo, we'll give you a general example is, right? A venue will give you a deal.
Okay.
And you go through one person.
Okay.
And you're talking to this person, you think they have your best interest in mind, especially out in Philly. We'll give you this deal, we won't charge you this, and blah, blah, blah. And then you go to another person in that same club, and you say, hey, like, what deal can you give us? And they're like, yo, that's a terrible deal. We'll give you this deal instead. It's the same club. They just want money in their pocket.
Yeah.
Right? It's because whoever books it gets the money. That goes very well with VIP sections, right? Like, you could hit me up and say, yo, like, how much does a table cost?
Yeah.
I might just charge you what I think is, what you'll pay.
Yeah.
Somebody else might charge you $500 more because they're like, yo, they get a percentage of that. It's a commission-based thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's extremely lucrative. That's a very general example. And it's very ironic, right? Because the media and the photo video community is the complete opposite.
Yeah.
And the hospitality nightlife industry is one end of the spectrum, media is on the other. In camera stuff and media stuff, everybody wants to help each other out.
Yeah. It's more
Bro, there's
collaborative.
group chats of fucking 500 people, right?
Yeah.
Yo, I got a gig, I can't take it. Can somebody else take it? And they'll help each other out. And then the nightlife industry is like, yo, how do I rinse the money out of this guy?
Yeah. They're like trying to compete for the same person.
100%.
Yeah.
And we pride ourselves at Apeiron to be like good in that
The right
sense.
ones.
The
The
right
ones who
right
do
people.
it right, yeah.
The morally right people, right?
Yeah.
For example, when Zach Knight canceled, a lot of these New York guests that we have at New York attendees, they're like, yo, I came to see Zach Knight. I didn't come to see Ezu. Like, I want my refund.
Yeah.
We could have easily just ignored them.
Like said no,
No, you paid for the ticket, no refunds, find yourself out.
Yeah.
And for some people, we did have to do that, right? because we gave them a period
Naturally,
of 3 weeks, refund your ticket, whatever.
Yeah.
But initially, we gave everybody a refund. We said, hey, listen, look, we understand you're pissed off.
Yeah,
we'll give you a
naturally,
refund. You know what I mean? Like, whatever money you had, we'll give you a refund. And that's the problem, man. There's a lot of people are very money hungry.
Yeah. And I think when it comes to a lot of things like that too, it's again like you doing the right thing by everyone is gonna make them want to come back. Like,
100%.
let's say you say, you know what, fuck y'all, no refunds.
Yeah.
Then those are the same people that will maybe never come to another event you host.
Exactly.
But because you did give them the refund, it's that hospitality, right? It's like there's this one study I was studying because I want Growthstreet to be a thing where people can actually buy into the mission and have a good experience here. So I was doing a ton of industry research when it comes to hospitality, like what you're doing now, but actually into the restaurant side.
Yeah.
So there's a thing that they talk about where it's called a red napkin. It's like if someone comes into your restaurant for the first time, put a red napkin on their table, right? And what they'll do is they'll give them the best experience possible.
100%.
And if you give someone a great experience the first time they come to your restaurant, there's about a 40 to 50% chance they come back again, right? And then if they come back a second time, give them the same experience, same about percentage they come back a third time.
Yep.
If they come back 4 times in a row, you now have a lifelong client in that person. Because the fifth time, if you have a shitty experience, you want to say, you might chalk it up to the waiter, or you might just chalk it up to the food that day or whatever. Yep. But if it happens the first or the second time, you're like, there's a 50-50 chance it's going to be a shit time.
And that's why they always ask you, right? Like, have you ever been here?
Exactly. No, literally. And that's how it works too with like what you're doing, what I'm doing is because if you can make it the best possible experience as often as you can, then that goes a longer way towards, for example, lifelong revenue. If you want to make money for a lifelong client, let's say you make $500 a year off a certain client. It goes really well 1 year, 2 years, it can go well. Let's say you make off $250 off a certain client, but that client you do a great job, that lasts you a lifetime. What are you actually making more money on? Are you actually enjoying the benefits of that partnership more? Not the 2 years, $500, it's the 50 years, $250, because that's the value of relationship and retention, and that's what people maybe not understand as much.
Exactly, and that's like a big thing for retainer clients, right? If you really want to make it full time in this media business, you have to have a retainer, a couple of retainer clients, right? Again, you might charge less, but if you provide them good quality service and they really fuck with you as a company, they will come back 100 times out of 100.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Key things again, over deliver, bro.
Exactly.
Literally
Over deliver. You have to, like, for example, right? One of the biggest things that me and Kush, that I mentioned earlier, was we went on tour with all these. Are you familiar with like the Ross circuit and like the DDN?
Oh, dude, yeah. My ex-girlfriend was involved with the Ross circuit when I was at Rutgers camp.
Yeah.
And it's a big indie camp for a lot of good drive people.
Yeah,
That's where I
yeah,
met Neil DeBarber, my
Yeah.
friend Aman.
Yeah.
And
He was on the Ross team too.
Yeah, exactly. At Temple. Almost, basically, I was never involved with it. They all asked me to join it because
Yeah.
I know how to dance, you know. Not
Yeah.
to pat my own back. I'm kind of saucy like that. But no, because of that circuit, I know about, oh my God, I went to all the after parties and everything. So I'm pretty familiar.
Yeah, so me and Kush, basically, we did the Ross, like the RAS, like final finale and everything, right?
Like the national one?
Yeah, the
everything?
national one. We went out to Chicago. We went out to San Diego.
Yep.
And the biggest thing that I used to do to kind of stand out, because there's so many people in that group, right? Shout out to Charlie, shout out to Ashwin, shout out to the OGs in the game. I just started doing that shit last year.
Yeah.
But the reason that people want to hire me again and are willing to pay the price is because of the fact that I over deliver. I get hired for photo mostly, right? For that kind of stuff. But I'll give them like a little stop motion video, or I'll deliver every single team. I'll make like a cool stop motion video of their
just
set.
for them,
just for them,
extra,
and they could post on their socials. And that's also another thing that helped grow my account so much is that Ross circuit, is those college events. That, you know,
again, guys, key nugget: if you're a young entrepreneur, you want to get involved in music space. Listen to what he's saying. He said it multiple times: college, organizations, fraternities, sororities, dance teams. That's some sauce right there, guys.
It's these groups, right, with a bunch of people. And if one person fucks with you, they're gonna be like, yo, that shit was fire. Yo, look at this video. And they're just gonna repost you. All these accounts are gonna post you, and it becomes a snowball effect.
It's a halo.
Right?
It's a halo effect.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like one person says something. Oh, this person shared it. This is sick. And then you never know. A CEO of a company might see that, be like, yo, like, love your stuff. Would love for you to make us some stuff like that. And then you have, you know, snowballing into a retainer client. So yeah, man.
Exactly. I think that's why one thing I really want to go into now is a segment we call the Growthstreet Minute.
Oh, yes.
So what this is kind of rapid fire questions. We start off pretty light, and we're just going to get into some more, you know, interesting like things where we're really picking at your brain, right?
Yeah.
So first things first, I want to ask you, you know, we were talking about a lot of events you shoot, a lot of things like that. Who's your favorite musical artist?
A-Boogie.
A-Boogie
with
still,
the hoodie.
to this
Bro,
day? To this day?
I remember the first time I shot him, I was like, yo, this is a dream come true. Travis Scott was cool. I listened to Travis Scott. I listened to Lil Baby, but A-Boogie with the hoodie, even to this day, like I've been to so many of his concerts, and I'll still listen to that song.
Favorite song?
Oh, favorite song, "Man in the Mirror" by A-Boogie.
Gotcha.
I listened to that on repeat. There was a moment where that's the only song I listened to every single day.
I'm the same way. I pick one song, it's 2-3 songs, and that's what I'm playing the entire
And then
song.
they got that little Spotify Wrapped at the end. It's like, yo, when the fuck did I listen? Oh, back in January.
One day for 12 times in a row. And I know, so next question I have is, you listen to a lot of music. I know for your venues, you also travel a lot, so you go on tour.
Yeah.
So where's the favorite place you've been to for leisure, for work in general? Where's your favorite place you've ever been?
Man, I love San Diego.
Yeah?
I don't know what it is. I hate LA. I hate.
Yeah.
Just because of the scene and whatever. But San Diego, I don't know what it is about
beautiful.
that. It's beautiful. It's warm. But it's like a warm where it's like, yo, it's like warm where you could deal with it. And it's not like LA.
Not that dry ass.
Yeah. And it's like some days it's cool. There's the beaches right there, and you know the schools are right there too. So I mean, for somebody my age, it's cool. And it's just San Diego. There's restaurants, there's bars, there's people you can meet. There's great clubs. San Diego and Chicago is also a very close second.
Yeah,
I love Chicago. Same kind of vibe. It's like New York, but like on a less cracked out scale.
Exactly. I literally call it New York. A clean New York.
Yeah,
That's
it's a clean New York.
Yeah,
exactly. DC's beautiful too.
Yep.
I love DC, but yeah, man, those are top three.
I mean, I love it because I basically lived in DC when I was going to Maryland. I lived in Chicago for a year after I graduated college, and I went to San Diego for a convention 2 years ago. So I love San Diego, bro. The convention center there too is right on the water. So our B&B was right there too. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more.
San Diego's gorgeous.
Next thing I have for you is now going into some of the stuff that you've worked on. What is your favorite project that you've ever worked on?
Damn, my favorite project. Shit. I think there was a moment where it goes back to Boogie again. Like I'm just fucking saying him again, but it's true. So I remember I filmed the Boogie show in Philly, and that same day, usually they require me to make a next day edit, right?
Yeah.
So I remember I was talking to my cousin. I was like, "Yo, fuck it, let's just go to Atlanta, like just to see the aquarium."
Yeah, yeah.
Like I went to Atlanta just to see the aquarium.
That's crazy.
And I was editing that same day edit. I remember in the terminal at my gate waiting for my plane.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I got to get this done before I get on this plane because they need it. You know what I mean? Like, so that genuinely, like that Philly show.
Yeah.
And honestly, any A Boogie any A Boogie fucking concert. Anything with A Boogie, I'm lit, bro. Like I'm there. Indo Warehouse, also one of my, that video is still a work in progress, but
I'm excited to see that. Out.
yeah, man. We got that was just a dream come true. So definitely one of my favorites.
Awesome, man. I think from what goes to favorites, now I'm asking you another favorite. What's a favorite advice you've ever given or received? Favorite advice you ever got?
Keep fucking going. Keep fucking going. No matter how shit gets, bro, keep going. Like that's the biggest, bro. You know what I mean? Like, again, we mentioned earlier, there's so many doubters, there's so many people that are not gonna believe in you. And there's so many people, I mean, without hating on too much of my parents, I love my parents, but brown parents especially, they don't understand, right? Like we don't, and you can't blame them, right? They don't see it.
Yeah, exactly.
They grew up in a vibe where it's like, yo, you got to be a doctor, you got to be a lawyer,
you got to make money to provide,
exactly,
like the traditional way.
The traditional way, and you know what? That all love to that, right?
Yeah,
and that's totally okay.
I mean, it's worked for who knows how long.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You can't blame them.
And that's like you get all these people that are just like, yo, you won't be able to sustain anything with this.
Yeah.
But the best advice is just keep pushing, man.
Keep pushing, man.
Keep pushing. Like eventually everything will
You're
work
one step
out.
away, man. You're literally one step away.
You could literally have the viral video tomorrow.
Yeah.
One of these clips could be the viral video.
Yeah, dead ass. No, seriously, man. It's gonna happen, bro. It's gonna
you know
happen,
what I mean?
I'm telling you.
Eventually,
Manifest
over
that
time.
shit. Yeah, exactly.
Over time, things will happen.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
So I love
that's
that,
what
bro. Yeah, everyone watching at home, again, I hope you guys taking some notes. Bro's spitting right now.
Listen, I'm young as hell, but I'm trying to provide the newbies with some game.
And it's relatable. I mean, you're 21, right? So a lot of the stuff that you're working on is probably people that are watching at 21 years old too.
Exactly, man.
I think like 80% of our viewership is between 18 and 24. So that's basically like the audience there.
100%, man.
Next thing I have is, who is an idol or the main influence for who you want to be or the reason why you are now? Who is like your person that you look up to, your role model, your idol? Who is that person?
Damn, dude, Cole Bennett. Cole Bennett, Lyrical Lemonade.
Yeah.
I remember there was a moment, right? Like, obviously, I don't know him.
Yeah.
Cole Bennett, hit me, please. But he's not a mentor or anything, but he's definitely somebody who has kind of been on the same path, right? Like, he started filming when he was young. He started doing all these things when he was my age. Now he's literally doing what Apeiron does, just on a huge scale.
Yeah, massive level.
Summer Smash, bro. Think about it. He's literally me. If you really deep it, he's got this production company that he runs, Lyrical Lemonade, and now he's doing shows,
doing events.
That's the exact same thing that I do.
Doing. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, and that happened because of his relation with artists. My thing happens the same way. Like, I film for these artists. I could call up somebody's manager, yo, you mind doing this show for me? Yeah. Figuring it out. That's the coolest kind of thing that I see from Cole Bennett is like, you see him work with Dave, Jack Harlow, Juice WRLD, rest in peace.
And look where he started too. He started with the most underground SoundCloud rappers
underground.
ever.
So underground. And now he's the guy for these rap videos and all these.
If you had a Cole Bennett video, like,
you're that guy.
Yeah, you are that guy.
You are that guy. And if even like Summer Smash, bro, Travis Scott, Playboy Cardi, all these artists
names.
You know what I mean? And he's doing events with them.
Yeah. And that could be you, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Literally.
That could be you guys watching the video right now.
Yeah, man. And that's he's the testament of like, yo, anything's possible. You know what I mean? Like, another one is KSI, right? Like, people laugh, people joke. He's a boxer, whatever.
Yeah.
He was nobody.
He was no one.
He used to film gaming videos in his mom's bedroom, bro.
Yeah, literally.
And now he's one of the most influential people in the United Kingdom.
In the world, bro. Yeah.
In the world. He owns Prime. He boxes. He's part of one of the biggest YouTube groups in the world.
Yeah, the biggest YouTube group.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
You know what I mean? So, and he started from nothing. He used to play horror games.
He was his normal weird self, man.
Bro,
it's all
he used to make chemistry singing videos, bro.
Yeah.
He used to be a nerd.
He's one of the first people who did street interviews. And he would just, start being weird with people.
That's man. And you know what? He may have had his cancelable moments, whatever.
Push through it, fought through it,
But bro, exactly. He pushed through it. Now he's one of the biggest people on this planet right now.
Yeah, dude.
Big inspiration, them two, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, dude, that's kind of the Growthstreet minute. But the last question I have, which is I really want you to dive into and take a bite out of this nugget right here, is what, for someone watching, what is the secret to success for you? Like, I want tangible things that someone who's watching this can go and put this into play, you know, have this on replay. Because I want people to, we talked about this before, it's like, I want this to be valuable for you. Like, what is like objectively valuable sauce, again, game, that you have to give someone watching who wants to be you or wants to start something and wants to be successful?
Yeah, man. I want to preface this with saying, again, I'm still young. I'm still learning. Like, we're still going through this journey together. I don't know every single piece of sauce, but for the young kid yo, listen, hold on. For the young kid, for bro back there, for who's, I don't know how long, I want to get you involved. How long have you been using a camera for?
3 years.
Yeah, right? So 3 years, right? When I was doing this shit for 3 years, bro, I fucking had a Canon T6. I was shooting on some bullshit, right? The number one thing is genuinely just don't be relentless. We mentioned this earlier. Don't stop, man.
Yeah.
Don't stop. Don't quit because some freaking loser said, "Yo, you look like an idiot." Your shit's ass, bro. Keep going, and that's the number one thing. Try, put some effort in be methodical in what you're doing. I want to dive deep in this topic. Are we on a time crunch? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say we still have about like a couple more minutes. There's don't feel rushed. If you want to talk about something, yeah.
One of the biggest kind of things that we didn't really touch on, and I really want to emphasize here is the fact that content is cool, right? You can make the most hype edit in the world. You could be the greatest video person on the planet. You got to know how to tell a story. I posted the video today, right? Saying, I don't care what camera you have. It doesn't fucking matter. You can shoot on a potato. If that potato has a camera, shoot on that potato.
Yeah.
But if you make a story that will touch people's hearts, like we talked about.
That emotional resonance is a big deal.
Exactly. And you make it relatable. You make it, yo, I got broken up with or you know, like I failed my exam or something like that, right?
Yeah.
To touch people's hearts. That's what matters. You could have the craziest edit, right? You filmed at Rolling Loud.
Yeah.
And you have the most hype edit. You have Travis Scott in there.
You have lights going everywhere.
Playboy, exactly. Lights going everywhere. You could do all these camera movements, which is cool and all, right? But I'm not going to lie to you. As a guy who critiques a lot of videos, I could care less for that kind of stuff. It's cool. It looks fire. Like, it's dope. But story, if your video has a story, I'd rather watch a video with one of the opening artists of Rolling Loud.
Yeah.
And you told his entire story from the beginning to the end of him performing. I'd rather watch that video than a hype video of Travis Scott getting lit.
On the stage,
That's why the Travis Scott documentary is so fire. I'm not sure if you watched it.
Oh, I think everyone's seen that.
Yeah, right. That documentary is so fire because it tells the story of how he made Astroworld, right? You know, you could see all these clips of him performing, all this concert. You could go to a concert, right? I love his concert, but the documentary was so different for me because you literally saw him performing in front of 30 people.
Yeah, jumping around,
looking like an idiot.
Yeah.
You know, and now in hindsight, he's not an idiot. He's one of the biggest in the world now. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that storytelling, man, is I guess that's my game, right? Learn how to tell a story. Like, you got to learn and look directly into a camera and connect emotionally with your viewer to the point where it's like, yo, you might cry. Yeah. I'm not sure if you watched the movie Inside Out 2.
Oh, I haven't seen Inside Out 2 now, but I saw it's been doing really, really
well.
Bro,
the reason that movie is doing so well and you know, it touches on these new characters of emotion and
anxiety,
all that. Anxiety.
Yeah.
Everybody has anxiety. You know, you might fucking fail an exam. You think you're not going to pass school. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You might have crashed your car. I'm telling you real life examples.
Yeah, deadass. Yeah.
I failed my exam. I hit somebody on a bike riding my car. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I thought, I was like, yo, like, this is it. Like, I'm done.
Life's over.
It's over. And that movie touches people. Like, everybody has anxiety attacks.
Yeah.
Everybody feels a certain way about, yo, like, I'm sad. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what to do here. Yeah. And that's why that movie is so damn good. It's a kid's movie, but genuinely one of my favorite movies of the year, Inside Out 2, is because of that factor of storytelling. And it follows a teenager through this period of puberty, and it's like, yo, like, she doesn't know how to deal with stress and anxiety. Yeah. And that was everybody.
Yeah, everyone at some point. Everybody. So everyone can relate to that video, to that movie.
Exactly. Now. We were all 16, 15 at one point.
Going through shit.
You know what I mean?
Straight up.
And that's why that movie is so sick. But yeah, man. That's game, man. Learn how to tell a story. Learn how to connect with your audience. That's one of the biggest things I preach to anybody in this industry, in this media game, is if you learn how to tell a story, you will get anywhere. You will get hired for everybody.
That's what I was gonna say. Was that the whole storytelling element is not even just for content creation.
Yeah.
For example, I'll give you a couple examples right now. Storytelling for job interviews.
Yep.
The whole point of a job interview is called the STAR method. Is to walk you through the art of telling a story when you're interviewing.
Yep.
So let's say you asked me a question that was, Darsh, tell me about a time where you worked with a team. I can just say, yeah, I worked with a team at my last job, and we did a really good job, and we passed the project. You can say that, or you could dive into all the
nitty-gritty details,
and how you felt, and all of these things, how you reflected on it. That's more powerful when you tell a story.
100%.
When you're making the content, even for example, I'm sure you've seen that you can make I remember someone asked the Q&A question. They were saying, how can you be a content creator while being in the background? Right?
Yeah.
You can make faceless content where it tells you the story. It's like, okay, this is the journey of, for example, like a bird who just like flow for the first time, or you're recording someone, like even a behind the scenes video. A behind the scenes video can be cool if it just edits, but it's cool if you see, we get someone walking into the venue, how they feel, maybe the nerves they had before they start recording.
Yep.
How can you tell a story through anything? Whether it's interview, you have a job interview, whether it's you're creating content, whether you're trying to make even an Instagram carousel.
Yep.
Like whatever you're doing.
Yep.
If you can tell a story, again, it emotionally connects, and then someone can say, you know what, this will either reminded me of a time where I went through something like this. This makes me feel a certain way, and people buy into stories. No one likes 100%. This whole, for example, I use like LeBron James. Everyone loves LeBron James because, again, he's a chosen one, but he's had his ups, his downs. He's not a perfect basketball player, but it's those impressions that make you fall in love with it. Kobe Bryant.
Yep.
Again, it's his story of being, getting to the NBA, struggling, then getting Shaq, but then, oh my God, they broke up, and then he figured out again.
Literally.
Stories is what people buy into. So if you can tell a story, it'll help you get hired for a job. It'll help you make viral content. It'll help you in everything in life. If you can really master storytelling. That's why the most famous people in the world are the best storytellers, right? The best movie makers, best directors, Christopher Nolan, all these people. The reason why their movies do so well is because they know how to tell a story.
Yep. One of the coolest people I know right now. He doesn't know me, or I don't really know him like that personally. He's actually a civil engineer, but he makes content on TikTok.
About engineering or about what?
About engineering.
Okay.
But he tells it. He told his story. He used to be homeless when he was younger. His mom passed away.
Wow.
Or his father passed. One of the other two, right?
Yeah.
And he tells a story about how he busted his ass. He graduated magna cum laude from I don't even know which university he went to, but he's one of my favorite creators right now.
Yeah.
And he's a PE, right? He's a PE professional engineer, and he works full time 9 to 5. But he's a great storyteller.
And you bought into his story.
And
at this point, now you're hooked to the brand. You're hooked to him.
Exactly. I'm hooked more to his storytelling than the actual aspect
content.
of
Like, the quality of the videos.
Exactly. And he's doing a thing where he's educating people trying to get into engineering and doing the same thing. So yeah, man. Bro, like storytelling is definitely one of the key aspects of anything that you do. You could be a DJ, you could be a video guy, you could be a 9 to 5 worker, you could just be trying to get a job. If you know how to tell a story, you will get places, I'm telling you.
Definitely, man. The one thing I'm excited about is I really hope everyone watches, and we have our Yash and Aditya here, is that I hope that everyone who's watching this at home really has looked at this as a story, right? Again, like man. I really wanted to bring you on for you to show how you literally went from being 7th grade, taking pictures and getting memed by all your people and clowned on by everyone, to now you have, again, all this, we talk about negative people interacting with you, but again, people are supporting you and giving 100%. You love on your growth. And 100%. Like the people's lives that you've touched with your content. And that story itself is one that I really wanted to share. So, dude, like, more than anything, I just want to appreciate you for being here and sharing your story with me.
Appreciate you for having me,
yeah, man. We could talk for probably 3, 4, 5 more hours.
I can stay here all night.
Yeah, literally, bro, literally. But again, like, for one, the story you have, the way you talked about, again, dealing with expectations, living in, a brown household, what that was like for you, and how you really showed people, like, this is what I did, and if you just do the same stuff and 100%. Listen to what I'm saying, this is possible for you too, man. So
anything is possible if you just put your mind to it and you bust ass towards that goal. That's what I'm saying. You could be a kid from fucking Bumblefuck, Kansas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, as one of my favorite creator, Adrian Purr, says, you got to create a story. If you make a story around your life, it will become a movie. You know what I mean? It could be a book in the beginning. It'll turn into a movie. Yeah, man. And that's what I'm hoping this is for everyone. And I think now, for everyone watching at home, I really do emphasize, I want you guys to follow Harshil Thaker, follow the Apeiron Group, follow them, because this is you are watching the chapter 1, chapter 2 of an amazing story being written. The same way he talks about some of these guys working for Jay-Z, being some, Cole Bennett. He's the next one. So I really want you guys to follow him, follow what he's doing, stay interactive with him.
And now I kind of want to give you the opportunity, man, to plug whoever you want to plug. This is your time for your shout outs. Talk to the camera, whatever you want to do, man.
Yeah, man. First of all, I appreciate you for having me.
Yeah,
This
bro.
is, this is something that I've been wanting to do for a little bit. We talked about it over the phone, but shout out everybody that's kind of helped me on this journey, all the mentors, all the people that have really kind of pushed me to the next level. I want to thank my partners, Chris, Jaisal, for really pushing me. Anybody, my parents, you know what I mean? Like anybody, Dunkin' Donuts for getting me that money to give me that first camera, that paycheck to give me that camera, Dunkin' Donuts. But no, man, there's a lot of people to thank, and it's just more about mentally putting myself in there and going in the lab, cooking, being in the zone, and now
sweating
just
it out, blood, sweat, and tears. That's what it's
man.
about, bro. And like
100%.
Again, part of what Growthstreet is like we're trying to empower people to get to where they want to be in life the way that they learn best.
Exactly.
And again, from whether you're an audio learner, a visual learner, an experienced learner, however you like to learn, we want to bring learning stories and success to people. So the fact that you got to be here, spending your time with me, and I know you're a busy man, I really appreciate it. And to like show you that you're part of the Growthstreet gang.
What do we got?
We got some
Hey!
new drip, so you guys can see.
Oh, we're so outside.
There's a hat next to him. We got really high quality made t-shirts. Actually, it's cool because we talk about networking. One of our previous guests, this is from her company where she does custom printing and everything like that. So this is for you.
Oh, appreciate that, bro. Thank you so much.
I really appreciate you coming on board, man.
Yeah, no worries.
I hope you enjoy the t-shirt. It's for you to wear however you want to wear it. And we're going to have more stuff coming later. But
I should have brought an Apeiron shirt then. Shit, bro.
No, you're good, brother. And seriously, dude, like, you're part of something we're going to be having for a long time now. And this is only part one of our relationship and our friendship.
100%,
I can't wait to
bro.
be around you.
This is literally the first time we've met.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Guys, we've never met before ever. We talked for the first time a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And I think it's really sort of a new friendship and a new brother, man.
100%,
You're part of
bro.
the Growthstreet gang now.
100%, bro. Appreciate that, man. Yo, this is sick. This has been cool, man.
Dude,
this
it's
has
been
real
amazing.
Cool. Which can't shit. We got so many cameras.
I know. Whichever camera you want to look at, bro. Whichever camera you want to look at.
But yeah, man.
Yeah, dude, it was a pleasure. And again, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Like, comment, share with anyone who you think could value from this.
Share.
And yeah, man,
Make
this
sure
is only
you
to come up. So episode 12, a lot more coming. But again, thank you for watching, and thank you again, Harshil. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Peace.
And that's a wrap.
Sick. Sick.